Vòng chung khảo cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh lần thứ 11 với chủ đề Kết nối quốc tế đã diễn ra vào sáng ngày 6 tháng 4 tại Trung tâm Hội nghị thành phố Hải Phòng. Cuộc thi do Liên hiệp các tổ chức hữu nghị thành phố phối hợp với Sở Ngoại vụ và Sở Giáo dục và Đào tạo tổ chức. Tại vòng chung khảo, các thí sinh ở bảng 1 dành cho học sinh các trường phổ thông đã trải qua phần thi diễn thuyết về một chủ đề và trả lời câu hỏi trực tiếp.
Xin được hân hoan và nồng nhiệt chào đón quý vị đại biểu, các vị khách quý, quý vị khán giả đã đến tham dự vòng chung kết cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh lần thứ 11 Hải Phòng 2025 trong buổi sáng ngày hôm nay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We warmly welcome you to the final round of the 11th English Championship Contest of Hải Phòng City 2025.
Vâng, kính thưa quý vị đại biểu, quý vị khách quý, đến hẹn lại lên, cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh lần thứ 11 Hải Phòng 2025 tiếp tục được tổ chức nhằm thúc đẩy phong trào học tập, tự rèn luyện, nâng cao khả năng sử dụng ngoại ngữ, đặc biệt là kỹ năng giao tiếp, thuyết trình bằng tiếng Anh cho cán bộ, công chức, viên chức, học sinh, sinh viên toàn thành phố.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the English Championship Contest of Hải Phòng City is an annual competition to promote further the usage and practices of English, especially speaking skills among officials, workers, students, and Hải Phòng residents in general.
Và thưa quý vị, trong một thế giới đang biến động không ngừng, việc kết nối giữa các đô thị, các quốc gia sẽ giúp tiếp cận các nền văn hóa mới, nâng tầm vị thế, tận dụng các cơ hội để phát triển, đồng thời cũng mang lại nhiều thách thức như các hàng rào thuế quan và phi thuế quan, nguy cơ mất bản sắc văn hóa, đòi hỏi sự đầu tư lớn hơn để đảm bảo cho sự kết nối toàn cầu đó. Chính vì vậy, ban tổ chức đã quyết định lựa chọn kết nối quốc tế là chủ đề của cuộc thi năm nay.
In the current fast-changing world, connecting cities and countries will have access to new cultures, enhancing their status, taking advantage of opportunities for development, but at the same time bringing various challenges such as tariff and non-tariff barriers, loss of cultural identity, requiring large investment to ensure those global connections. Therefore, international connection has been selected as the theme of the contest this year.
Và thưa quý vị, cuộc thi năm nay đã thu hút lượng lớn các thí sinh đến từ các sở, ngành, các trường đại học, cao đẳng, phổ thông trung học trên địa bàn thành phố. Và trong một thời gian ngắn, cuộc thi đã thu hút trên 1.000 lượt đăng ký thi trực tuyến. Và hôm nay chúng ta sẽ gặp nhau tại đây để cùng tìm ra một nhà vô địch tiếng Anh thiếu niên và một nhà vô địch tiếng Anh toàn thành phố.
We are now approaching the final stage of the competition, where the outstanding candidates were selected from various departments, agencies, and schools in the city. In a short period of time, the contest has received more than 1,000 online registrations. So today, the best candidates of each category will show their English-speaking talents to find out the junior champion and the citywide champion.
Và thưa quý vị thân mến, tới tham dự cuộc thi ngày hôm nay, chúng tôi xin được trân trọng giới thiệu sự hiện diện của các quý vị đại biểu, các quý vị khách quý.
It is our great honor to introduce the following distinguished guests attending the contest today.
Xin được trân trọng giới thiệu sự hiện diện của ông Nguyễn Văn Thụ, Chủ tịch Liên hiệp các tổ chức hữu nghị thành phố.
Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thụ, Chairman of Hải Phòng Union of Friendship Associations.
Xin được trân trọng chào đón sự hiện diện của bà Nguyễn Thị Thanh Hương, Phó Giám đốc Sở Ngoại vụ.
Ms. Nguyễn Thị Thanh Hương, Vice Director of Hải Phòng Department of Foreign Affairs.
Xin được trân trọng giới thiệu sự hiện diện của bà Nguyễn Thu Thủy, Phó trưởng ban, Ban tuyên giáo dân vận Thành ủy.
Ms. Nguyễn Thu Thủy, Vice Chairman of Propaganda Information, Department of Hải Phòng Party Committee.
Xin được trân trọng giới thiệu sự hiện diện của bà Nguyễn Thị Thủy, Phó Bí thư Thành đoàn.
Ms. Nguyễn Thị Thủy, the Vice Secretary of Hải Phòng Youth Union.
Xin được trân trọng giới thiệu sự hiện diện của bà Phạm Thu Thưởng, Phó trưởng ban, Ban tuyên giáo nữ công, Liên đoàn Lao động thành phố.
Ms. Phạm Thu Thưởng from Hải Phòng Labor Federation.
Và thưa quý vị, tới dự với cuộc thi ngày hôm nay còn có sự hiện diện của các lãnh đạo các sở, ban ngành, các đơn vị có thí sinh tham gia, các nhà tài trợ, các doanh nghiệp, trung tâm ngoại ngữ và các cơ quan thông tấn báo chí, đài truyền hình, báo trực tuyến cũng có mặt để tham dự đưa tin về cuộc thi.
We would also like to welcome representatives from departments, agencies, schools, sponsors, English centers and the media.
Và một lần nữa xin được nồng nhiệt chào đón sự hiện diện của tất cả quý vị. Kính thưa quý vị thân mến, và ngay sau đây xin được trân trọng giới thiệu và kính mời ông Nguyễn Văn Thụ, Chủ tịch Liên hiệp các tổ chức hữu nghị thành phố sẽ lên sân khấu để phát biểu khai mạc vòng chung khảo của cuộc thi. Xin được trân trọng kính mời.
Now we would like to invite Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thụ, the chairman of Hải Phòng Union of Friendship Associations, to deliver the opening speech. Please welcome.
Kính thưa đồng chí Nguyễn Thu Thủy, Phó trưởng Ban tuyên giáo và dân vận Thành ủy. Kính thưa đồng chí Nguyễn Thị Thanh Hương, Phó Giám đốc Sở Ngoại vụ. Đồng chí Nguyễn Thị Thủy, Phó Bí thư Thành đoàn Hải Phòng. Đồng chí Phạm Thu Thưởng, Phó Ban Nữ công Liên đoàn Lao động thành phố. Kính thưa quý vị đại biểu, thưa các bạn học sinh, sinh viên và những thí sinh xuất sắc đua tài tại vòng chung khảo ngày hôm nay. Lời đầu tiên thay mặt các đơn vị tổ chức cuộc thi, cho phép tôi gửi lời chào, lời chúc sức khỏe tới quý vị đại biểu, các bạn thí sinh tại vòng chung khảo cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh lần thứ 11 với chủ đề Kết nối quốc tế. Kính thưa quý vị đại biểu, thành phố Hải Phòng trở thành một điểm đến tin cậy cho nhiều sự kiện quan trọng kết nối, hợp tác, xúc tiến thương mại trong và ngoài nước, khẳng định vị thế thành phố cảng năng động, sáng tạo trong hội nhập quốc tế, một điểm sáng trong bức tranh kinh tế năm 2024. Thành phố đã thu hút 4,35 tỷ USD vốn đầu tư trực tiếp nước ngoài vào 3 trụ cột: công nghiệp công nghệ cao, cảng biển logistics, du lịch thương mại, nâng tổng vốn lũy kế đến nay là 30,4 tỷ USD. Với tổng cộng 594 dự án, thành phố đã kết nối với nhiều tổ chức lớn trong lĩnh vực chip bán dẫn và trí tuệ nhân tạo, nâng cao khả năng hấp thu công nghệ, tham gia chuỗi cung ứng, tạo mối liên kết hợp tác phát triển giữa doanh nghiệp trong nước và ngoài nước. Hoạt động đối ngoại nhân dân tiếp tục có nhiều khởi sắc, đa dạng hóa các hoạt động với nhiều đối tác quốc tế, trở thành cầu nối giữa nhân dân thành phố Hải Phòng với nhân dân các nước trên thế giới. Kính thưa quý vị đại biểu, cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh toàn thành phố là một trong những hoạt động đối ngoại nhân dân kết nối thế hệ trẻ với các hoạt động hữu nghị, cộng đồng doanh nghiệp trên địa bàn, và đặc biệt hoạt động này góp phần thúc đẩy mô hình xã hội học tập, nâng cao chất lượng nguồn nhân lực cho thành phố trong thời kỳ hội nhập quốc tế sâu rộng hiện nay. Trong nhiều năm qua, cuộc thi đều hướng tới các chủ đề năm của thành phố, đưa ra các ý tưởng mới, góp phần vào việc xây dựng, phát triển thành phố trong thời kỳ hội nhập quốc tế. Năm nay, cuộc thi tiếp tục tiếp cận những nội dung xoay quanh các vấn đề quan tâm hiện nay trong quá trình phấn đấu xây dựng thành phố Hải Phòng theo nghị quyết 4 năm của Bộ Chính trị về xây dựng và phát triển thành phố Hải Phòng đến năm 2030 và tầm nhìn đến năm 2045. Kính thưa quý vị đại biểu, cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh năm nay được phát động từ cuối năm 2024, đã thu hút trên 1.000 lượt đăng ký dự thi trực tuyến, vượt qua nhiều phần thi. Top 5 thí sinh 2 bảng đã có mặt tại vòng chung khảo hôm nay để tranh tài danh hiệu nhà vô địch tiếng Anh thành phố Hải Phòng lần thứ 11. Với trọng tâm của cuộc thi phát triển phong trào học tập, ứng dụng ngoại ngữ trong công việc và cuộc sống, cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh đã được đông đảo các bạn bè đón nhận, thu hút sự quan tâm của nhân dân thành phố, có sự đồng hành của các sở ngành, nhiều trường đại học, trường phổ thông và doanh nghiệp trên địa bàn thành phố. Các đơn vị đã tổ chức nỗ lực đổi mới phương pháp và nội dung cuộc thi để tạo ra sân chơi bổ ích, thú vị đối với việc học ngoại ngữ nói chung và tiếng Anh nói riêng trên địa bàn thành phố. Thay mặt các đơn vị tổ chức cuộc thi, tôi ghi nhận những nỗ lực đồng hành hỗ trợ của các sở ban ngành, trường học, các trung tâm ngoại ngữ, cộng đồng doanh nghiệp đã góp phần quan trọng tổ chức thành công cuộc thi. Với các thí sinh vòng chung khảo hôm nay, chúc các bạn hãy bình tĩnh, tự tin và đạt kết quả cao nhất. Tôi mong rằng qua cuộc thi này, những bạn đã tham gia và sẽ tham gia cuộc thi những năm tới tiếp tục đóng góp tích cực cho việc xây dựng cộng đồng học tập, thúc đẩy phong trào học tập, ứng dụng tiếng Anh ngày một hiệu quả hơn. Thông qua cầu nối ngôn ngữ góp phần khẳng định vị thế của thành phố Cảng trong lòng bạn bè quốc tế. Với tinh thần đó, tôi tuyên bố khai mạc vòng chung khảo cuộc thi tiếng Anh Hải Phòng lần thứ 11 ngày hôm nay. Xin chúc quý vị đại biểu, các bạn thí sinh và gia đình dồi dào sức khỏe, hạnh phúc và thành công. Xin trân trọng cảm ơn.
Xin được trân trọng cảm ơn ông Nguyễn Văn Thụ, Chủ tịch Liên hiệp các tổ chức hữu nghị thành phố.
Sincerely thank Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thụ, the chairman of Hải Phòng Union of Friendship Associations.
Vâng, kính thưa quý vị, góp phần vào thành công của cuộc thi, ban tổ chức trân trọng cảm ơn các sở, ngành, đơn vị, các trường đại học, cao đẳng, phổ thông trung học đã động viên, tạo điều kiện cho các thí sinh đơn vị của mình tham gia cuộc thi.
On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank all participating departments, agencies and schools for supporting our contest and our participants.
Ban tổ chức đánh giá cao các trường đã có nhiều học sinh tham gia và đạt thành tích tốt trong 2 vòng thi trực tuyến vừa qua.
We highly appreciate schools and their students who have joined and made great achievements in the recent online test.
Và nhân dịp này, chúng tôi cũng xin được trân trọng cảm ơn những nhà tài trợ đã đồng hành cùng cuộc thi.
We also would like to especially thank our sponsors, without whom this contest would not be possible.
Và thưa quý vị, ban tổ chức cũng bày tỏ lòng cảm ơn sâu sắc tới các trung tâm ngoại ngữ đã cố vấn học thuật và trao học bổng cho các thí sinh của cuộc thi năm nay.
We would like to express our heartfelt thanks to the following language centers who have provided invaluable academic advice and scholarships to our candidates.
Vâng, và chúng tôi cũng xin được trân trọng cảm ơn Tổ chức Giáo dục và Đào tạo Apollo Việt Nam chi nhánh tại thành phố Hải Phòng.
We would like to thank Apollo English Hải Phòng branch.
Xin được cảm ơn Tổ chức Tư vấn Du học và Đào tạo Panda Edu.
We would like to thank Panda Education.
Xin được cảm ơn Trung tâm Anh ngữ MES.
And we would like to thank MES English Center.
Xin được trân trọng kính mời ông Nguyễn Văn Thụ, Chủ tịch Liên hiệp các tổ chức hữu nghị thành phố sẽ quay trở lại sân khấu để tặng hoa cảm ơn các nhà tài trợ. Xin được trân trọng kính mời.
We would like to invite Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thụ, the chairman of the Hải Phòng Union of Friendship Associations, to present flowers to the sponsors.
Vâng, và ngay sau đây xin được trân trọng kính mời lên sân khấu bà Hoàng Chi Mai, Giám đốc Trung tâm Anh ngữ Apollo Hải Phòng.
We would like to invite to the stage Ms. Hoàng Chi Mai, Director of Apollo English Hải Phòng.
Xin được trân trọng kính mời ông Trịnh Khắc Điệp, nhà sáng lập tổ chức giáo dục Panda.
We would like to invite Mr. Trịnh Khắc Điệp, the founder of Panda Education.
Xin được trân trọng kính mời bà Đỗ Ngọc Oanh, đại diện Trung tâm Anh ngữ MES.
And we would like to invite Ms. Đỗ Ngọc Oanh, the representative of MES English Center.
Và thưa quý vị, chúng ta hãy cùng dành những tràng vào tay thật lớn để cùng cảm ơn những nhà tài trợ đã đồng hành cùng cuộc thi năm nay.
Once again, thank you very much for joining us and supporting the contest today. Thank you.
Một lần nữa xin được trân trọng cảm ơn ông Nguyễn Văn Thụ, Chủ tịch Liên hiệp các tổ chức hữu nghị thành phố và các đại diện các nhà tài trợ.
Sincerely thank Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thụ and all of our sponsors.
Vâng, và thưa quý vị thân mến, trong mỗi cuộc thi thì chắc chắn sẽ không thể thiếu đó chính là những thành viên trong ban giám khảo. Họ chính là những người sẽ cầm cân nảy mực, sẽ là những người sẽ tìm ra những thí sinh xuất sắc nhất trong phần dự thi năm 2025. Và ngay bây giờ chúng tôi xin được giới thiệu các thành viên trong ban giám khảo.
Now we would like to introduce our judges for the contest today.
Xin được trân trọng giới thiệu thầy Yevgeny, Giám đốc học vụ Apollo English.
Mr. Yevgeny Yandulayev, Learning Experience Manager of Apollo English.
Xin được giới thiệu cô Paula Rojas, giáo viên chuyên môn Apollo English.
Miss Paula Rojas, academic teacher of Apollo English.
Xin được trân trọng giới thiệu cô Kiều Anh, Trung tâm Ngoại ngữ Apollo và sẽ là thư ký của cuộc thi.
We would like to introduce Miss Kiều Anh from Apollo English Center Hải Phòng will be the secretary.
Vâng, và chúng tôi cũng xin được chúc cho ban giám khảo, tổ thư ký sẽ làm việc thật công tâm, hiệu quả để tìm ra những thí sinh xứng đáng nhất cho cuộc thi năm nay. Kính thưa quý vị thân mến, và ngay sau đây, không để quý vị chúng ta phải chờ đợi lâu hơn nữa, cuộc thi của chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu với các thí sinh đến từ bảng 1 dành cho học sinh các trường phổ thông.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the ball rolling with the contestant from category 1 for junior.
Và trong phần thi bây giờ, mỗi bạn sẽ có 8 phút để trình bày một chủ đề đã được chuẩn bị trước. Và nếu vượt quá thời gian, các bạn sẽ bị trừ 3 điểm mỗi phút quá giờ. Và sau đó thì các bạn sẽ nhận lại được là 2 đến 3 câu hỏi trực tiếp từ ban giám khảo.
In this part, each of you has 8 minutes to make a presentation. If the time limit is exceeded, 3 scores is minored per 1 minute. There will be 2 follow-up questions from our judges for each contestant.
Vâng, và theo thứ tự đã được bốc thăm thì bây giờ sẽ là một thí sinh đầu tiên đến với chúng ta từ trường Trung học phổ thông chuyên Trần Phú. Và các cổ động viên của trường chuyên Trần Phú đang ở đâu ạ?
So, for the first contestant, let's welcome on stage a student from Trần Phú High School for the gifted.
Và ngay bây giờ chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với thí sinh Đậu Nguyễn Diệp Chi đến từ trường Trung học phổ thông chuyên Trần Phú.
And let's find out who she is with the following video clip. Let's welcome on stage our first contestant, Đậu Nguyễn Diệp Chi.
Greetings everyone. I am Đậu Nguyễn Diệp Chi, a 15-year-old English major currently studying at Trần Phú High School for the Gifted. I am thrilled to be one of the finalists of the Hải Phòng English Champion contest today. Although I must admit that I am pretty nervous, the thought of being able to meet other incredible contestants as well as showcasing my abilities excites me a lot. With dedication and a positive mind, I believe that anything is possible. So I wish the best of luck to myself as well as other competitors in this contest. Thank you.
Hello everyone present here. I am Đậu Nguyễn Diệp Chi, a 15-year-old Trần Phú High School for the Gifted student, and I'm here to present on the topic of the benefits of study abroad and cultural exchange experiences for students. Now, before I officially start the speech, let me give you a fact. This is the second time I am on the stage presenting to a whole large audience. So, when was the first time? This is me during my summer study abroad program on the stage in a university hall in Singapore, presenting on the same topic. But at that time, I was super nervous. Oh, I couldn't even think straight. My knees were trembling and my words were stumbling. And I even regretted even signing up for this summer study abroad program. But intimidating as it was, it had taught me a lot. This experience had taught me that how vital it is to step out of my comfort zone and it opened my mind to a whole new world and teaches me to become an adaptable, open-minded, and a globally aware individual. Well, globalization today demands us students to think and act beyond our own community, but a true global mindset cannot be gained through documentaries and textbooks only, but it also requires first-hand experience for students to live, to learn, and to struggle in an unfamiliar world. By that, through this, can students become more adaptable in this ever-changing world? Now, one of the benefits I'd like to mention of such programs and experiences today is the opportunity to experience the diversity firsthand. Being in a foreign world, we expose students to people from different walks of life, enabling them not only to share their own experiences, but also get the chance to learn the stories from different people too. This can foster empathy and tolerance towards different perspectives and a broader worldview of us. This is also the foundation for international friendships and a harmonious, interconnected world. The next thing I'd like to mention about the benefits of study abroad programs and cultural exchange experiences is the language acquisition. Unlike being in a traditional classroom, where the exposure to a language is limited to a certain amount of time, being in a foreign world forces students to use the targeted language for most of the time, whether it's about ordering food, asking for directions, or even engaging in academic activities. I know this is a challenging experience. This is a nerve-wracking one, but it is crucial for students to master a proficiency in the targeted language. Well, language acquisition does not stop at mastering the language. It also sparks an interest within us to continue study other languages too. Back to the day during my Singapore study abroad program, there was a story in that I ordered food. Everything went well until the delivery man arrived. The problem was that he could only speak Chinese, and I didn't even have a clue about that. Miscommunication happened. But luckily, my half-Chinese roommate saved the day and did the communication for me. Well, instead of seeing this experience as a failure or as an embarrassment, I see it as an opportunity for me to study other languages and broaden my mind too. So I asked my roommate to teach me some basic Chinese expressions. Although I could only pick up a bit, at least I made progress. Last but not least for today is the opportunity to develop crucial life skills. Being in a foreign world will mostly mean that students have to sort out most of their problems alone, whether it's about navigating one's way through a new city or managing the daily expenses, both for basic necessities and for studies. This can come across as challenging and off-putting, but it is vital in order for students to become more independent and resilient in the face of any challenges so that they can thrive and grow in the foreign world. And this is also the opportunity for them to develop their problem-solving skills too, so that they can fully adapt to the foreign world and utilize any opportunities for their personal and professional growth. Now, as I stand here, concluding my speech once again, I realized how much difference the experience has changed me. I am no longer that nervous girl on the stage, but this experience helps me to become more confident, more willingly to step up here and speak my own view. This experience also makes me realize that I don't need perfect pronunciation or an absolute confidence in order to engage in global connections. All I need to do is speak up, is to show up, stay open, and continue learning. So if you have the chance to these programs and experiences, take it, because it will change you in ways that you would never expect. This concludes my speech today. Thank you.
Hi. Would you say that all language exchange and study abroad programs are beneficial for everyone necessarily? Like, are study abroad programs beneficial for everyone? Like, would you recommend it to every person? Or do you think some people benefit more or less from that?
Well, thank you for your question. So I think I need a moment to think. I believe that these programs and experiences can benefit everyone, but it depends mostly on their mindset and their willingness to learn new things and adapt to the unfamiliar world. So it kind of depends on that element of mindset and attitude that determine how much a person can learn from these experiences.
Gotcha, thank you. And one more question.
Okay.
What would you say are the two most important things you need to do before you go on a study abroad program?
Thank you for your question again. Two things that first pop up in my mind is first the targeted language, and also there's a lot to consider. And also the finances when being abroad. For the language, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, as being study abroad requires a person to communicate. And if unable to communicate, then we cannot conduct most daily interactions, like engaging in academic activities or even asking for directions. And the second one is finances, because, well, there might be some problems that you can never expect. Perhaps a sudden health problem, or perhaps being robbed in a foreign world too. So that's why I think that language and finances are two things that are most important when a person is studying abroad.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Xin được cảm ơn ban giám khảo và xin được chúc mừng phần dự thi của thí sinh Đậu Nguyễn Diệp Chi đã hoàn thành xong phần dự thi của mình.
Congratulations to Đậu Nguyễn Diệp Chi for finishing your performance.
Vâng thưa quý vị, và ngay sau đây chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với thí sinh tiếp theo. Thí sinh tiếp theo sẽ là thí sinh Vũ Quốc Cường đến từ trường Trung học phổ thông chuyên Trần Phú.
And let's welcome on stage another contestant from Trần Phú High School for the Gifted, Vũ Quốc Cường. And let's check it out who he is.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Vũ Quốc Cường. I'm a French major at Trần Phú High School for the Gifted. And yes, you heard that correctly. French major. And I am so elated to be a finalist for this year's contest, since I was so unfortunate to miss last year's. A thing about me is that I am a content creator on social media with a strong passion to share, inspire, and empower. I love connecting with people online, and I'm so proud to know that what I've been doing has had a positive impact on people's lives. And following this, you will hear me present the influences of social media on international relationships and cultural exchange. I'd like to give a shout out to everyone who has accompanied me to date, whether they're in this auditorium or not. And good luck to future me, wherever I will be. Count it. Count it.
What up, what up? It's a cruel summer with you. Anyway, during this new era of technology, social media platforms have been taking over the internet, accumulating millions of users every single day. And while they have a really positive impact on international relationships and cultural exchange, there exist some risks and difficulties. So in this presentation, I shall elaborate further on this matter. Well, first things first, we should know more about what international relationships and culture exchange and social media, what they are, right? So the former could be defined as the connection and the interaction between people, ethnicities, and individuals, and also the appreciation, the cross-experience, and the sharing of one another's customs and culture, whereas the latter could be defined as applications or websites that allows users to post, share, converse, and connect with their family and friends or with anyone across the world. Since the whole gist of social media is to help people connect and brings people closer, it has a lot of positive impacts on international relationships and culture exchange, with one of them being the facilitation of global communication and relationships. Well, social media breaks down geographical barriers, which allows for people and cultures afar to connect and interact more easily. This could be easily inferred by the fact that it's really extremely easy to talk to or to get in touch with anyone out there on the internet. With just a simple search, upon me will be a million of different accounts and profiles that I can easily get in touch with. Apart from, and social media also breaks language barriers. Since people from different countries, they speak different languages, and so they would really face trouble understanding one another. And this is where social media comes into play. YouTube, Facebook, and Messenger, they all have this auto-translating on auto captions feature, which really allows easier communication between two sides of the dialogue. Another thing I'd like to note is that social media creates a common medium for people to exchange. It's really easy to create a community as well as joining a community. With just a simple click of a button, I can join a French learning group, for example, and I can make a post, I can ask about the French language or the French culture for my traveling needs. In addition, the presence of social media also perpetuates the spread of ideas and information. With the possibility to create, to constitute any type of content that you want and having anyone view it, people will desire to do so. And there will be people who like to watch those content. It's like a small economy system in a way. And a form of content that is widely consumed is music. And the #1 top trending music video right now is Bắc Bling by Hoa Minzy. It's a modern song combined with traditional Vietnamese instruments that are really symbolic and particular to Vietnam. This way, people of any age can enjoy the song, and people from anywhere can learn more about our rich history and culture. Hadn't social media existed, this song wouldn't have been as impactful and popular as it is today. On the other side of the arguments, however, there are a few potential risks that are involved regarding the use of social media, with the most obvious being misinformation and fake news. Social media facilitates the spread of information, right? Any information, including false or misleading content. There's this outrageous post I read about the worst dishes in Vietnam, which literally includes the best of the dishes here. Please take a look on the screen. Now, would anyone want to try out these dishes now that they are ranked the worst? Like, come on, bún đậu mắm tôm is amazing. You should give it a try. Yeah, so fake news, they really cause a huge damage to cultural understanding. And another risk that could be provoked by social media is cultural homogenization. Social media stems trends, right? And trends are things that everyone does or likes. And when everyone does or likes the same thing, they're going to integrate it into their own lives and by replacing what's originally there. A prime example of this is the fact that the Vietnamese language is being deteriorated by foreign phrases or a trend or a catchy or trendy words. Case in point, this image. While some people would argue that this would help us learn English, and yeah, but this is in such a disgrace and a degradation to our beautiful Vietnamese language. So please don't do this ever. Please don't. Anyway. And there are also some potential risks provoked by social media that could be mentioned, such as polarization and security problems. But due to the time limit, I will not go in depth on those. So I will encourage you guys at home to make your own research. So at the end of the day, social media are powerful tools that are totally indispensable when it comes to international relationships and cultural exchange. And one must utilize these tools very appropriately, responsibly, and cautiously to minimize the risks and damages. People should also preserve, promote, and develop their own culture, as well as learn from, share, and appreciate other cultures to create a more diverse, inclusive, and interconnected world. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, okay. Hello. Hi. Okay, I want to know, what do you think, what is the biggest risk when you use the social media in high school? What is the biggest risk in high school?
In high school,
yeah.
In general?
Yeah. Like using the social media in high school, what do you think is the biggest risk?
One of the risks I think is the most alarming is cyberbullying, because I was a victim of that, and it is really damaging to my mental health when it feels like the whole world was against me. Everyone was throwing at me all of this bad and bashing comments, and it really made me lose myself. I could not focus on my studies. I could not really appreciate myself anymore, and it's really depressing when something like that happens. And yeah, that is a really bad side of social media.
Okay, thank you so much.
May I ask a question?
Oh yes, okay.
So you did mention the echo chambers, and I wanted to delve a little bit deeper into it. So yes, social media absolutely does generate those. We tend to get stuck in our own info bubbles. So in your opinion, what can you do as a user of the internet to avoid getting inside that bubble? Maybe not avoid getting inside of it, but avoid being stuck in it.
Okay, so being stuck in it is really something that's really kind of difficult to avoid, but I suggest that maybe you should always try to be open to more ideas, always try to educate yourself, do more research, and always think outside of the box. Just do not put yourself into a little box and always know, you have to always know that there is something more. And one person cannot know everything that is out there in the world. So we should try to know as much as we can before we make a final conclusion or we have our own personal opinion. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Vâng, một lần nữa chúng ta hãy cùng dành một tràng pháo tay thật lớn để cùng chúc mừng cho bạn Vũ Quốc Cường đến từ trường Trần Phú.
Thank you, Vũ Quốc Cường, for your performance.
Vâng, thưa quý vị, và ngay sau đây chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với thí sinh thứ 3 của chúng ta trong bảng 1. Đó chính là bạn Bùi Phạm Anh Đức, học sinh trường Trung học cơ sở và Trung học phổ thông FPT Hải Phòng.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we will welcome on stage contestant Bùi Phạm Anh Đức from FPT Schools.
Good morning, fellas. My name is Bùi Phạm Anh Đức from class 12A1 of FPT School Hải Phòng. And this year, I am absolutely thrilled to be a part of the Hải Phòng English Championship 2025. And my topic will be the importance of international cooperation in addressing health crises such as pandemics. Let's go.
Now, over the past few years, we have faced numerous health crises, from past pandemics to the recent COVID-19 outbreak. And if there's one thing that we have learned is that we cannot fight this threat alone. Now, global cooperation isn't just beneficial, it is essential in saving lives too.
When nations collaborate by sharing resources, lowlands, we can act faster and more efficiently. For example, organizations like WHO and the UN and countless other medical professionals are working tirelessly to ensure global health. And I think that this effort reminds us that we are stronger together. As a part of the younger generations, I believe that us young people have the power to make a difference. By staying well informed, raising awareness, and advocating for global health initiatives, I believe that we can contribute to a healthier and safer future for everyone on a global scale. Thank you for listening, and now I will dive deep into it on my presentation.
Good morning, fellas. My name is Bùi Phạm Anh Đức from class 12A1 of FPT School Hải Phòng. And today I will be talking about the topic of the importance of international cooperations in addressing health crises such as pandemics. Let's go. Now, I would like to tell a story. And back in December 2019, in Wuhan, China, a doctor discovered something strange. Patients with a mysterious illness that is kind of like pneumonia affecting their lungs. And when he was about to tell the world about it, the disease took over. Over 100 countries got infected with disease in just 3 months. Economies were shut down. Families were torn apart. Millions of lives are lost. How can we stop this? So now is that you might so that's what we are going to be talking about today, on how global cooperation can stop a pandemic before it even started. Now, first of all, we have to explore on how a pandemic spreads. So when one infected person boards up a plane, in 24 hours, the disease is in now 3 new countries. And in 1 week, it's in 5 different continents. You might think that it is a work of fiction, a movie plot even, but no, this is how a pandemic spreads. History has proven itself over and over. From the Spanish flu of World War I in 1918, SARS from 2002, and Ebola from 2014. All of these, and maybe recently even COVID-19, all of these diseases could have been stopped, prevented maybe. But how did we mess up? So the aftermath is that COVID-19 caused why other countries have closed out their borders, the virus still managed to spread worldwide. Unbalanced equipment distribution among countries. Some countries have too much equipment, while some lack resources. Medical supply chains fall off. economic infrastructure takes a toll, and even global health is threatened worldwide as many people are put in danger. How can we possibly stop this? What if the world actually come up together and take cooperations? Now, in the past, there was smallpox. Back in the 20th century, smallpox killed over 300 million people alone. Worldwide collaboration eventually led to the creation of vaccine. And in 1980, the disease was the first of its kind to be declared as eradicated, gone forever, erased from the face of the earth. What can we learn from this? Well, if we focus on medical collaborations, like scientists can come together and collaborate on the research to put up vaccines, we can even distribute it to other countries so that we can prevent it before it even started. More importantly, other nations can even prioritize funding. So, because when you fund other undeveloped countries, we are actually preventing the disease from spreading internationally. This is even a precaution for you. And last but not least, technological use. With the new development of AI, I'm sure that we can use AI to predict and maybe even keep up with the current data so that we can predict whether the disease will mutate or not. This, along with the research, will be very efficiently in creating a new cure or something. Now, in the past, when Vietnam was struck by COVID, we received immense help from other nations, such as WHO when they donated $2.5 million worth of equipment to Vietnam, or Germany where they donated $2.6 million worth of AstraZeneca to Vietnam. Now, what is stopping us from collaborating with other countries? What is stopping us from cooperating with them? Well, first of all, it's the political issues. Many leaders are too focused on the political side of the outbreak instead of actually taking a chance to stop it. And when they are focusing on the nations instead of trying to cooperate worldwide, they miss a chance to actually put a stop to the disease. And second of all, it will be transparency and misinformation. Social media is a good thing, but diseases spread fast, but misinformation spreads faster than diseases. And along with misinformation and other conspiracy theories, it will be very difficult for people to put trust on scientific research. Because when they put their trust on other placebo or maybe false information, there will be no reason for them to actually believe in scientific research. And finally, there will be financial issues. Some countries think that by funding other countries, it will not do them any good. But in reality, when you fund other countries, you're actually putting precaution on the next outbreak, because it will place a halt on the disease and maybe even gives them time to respond to it. This is an investment, a lot of cost. Now, what can we do? First of all, people like us, we can advocate for global health, maybe even supporting global health initiative and hold government accountable for the actions. Now, we can maybe even find misinformation by sharing facts about the current outbreak, spreading positiveness, strengthen your communities, and last but not least, take good care of yourself and your family. We must face the fear and build the future. Now the question is, when the virus is coming, are we able to prevent the disease before it even started? The choice is up to us. Thank you.
Hi. I would like to ask you a question, if that's okay?
Yes.
Sure. So that was my question. No, I'm joking. So the question is, you mentioned Spanish pandemic, the Spanish flu as well.
Yes.
And it had if you look at the absolute numbers, Spanish flu took about 50 million lives. But it was really quickly, economically at least, rectified. Like, people almost immediately forgot about it. Compare it to COVID pandemic, where 7 million people were taken, but the world is still recovering bit by bit, even to this day. Why do you think 100 years after the fact, like the Spanish flu left almost no economic impact, but the COVID pandemic is something that we're still dealing with to this day?
Can you repeat the last part again? Can you repeat it?
Yeah, of course. So, why do you think, despite the lower death toll, why is it that the Spanish flu took almost no economic effect on the global economy processes, but the COVID pandemic and its aftermath is something that we're still dealing with to this day? Yeah.
I think that, I don't know much about it, but I think that because back in when the Spanish flu was spreading, it was back when World War I was happening. So most of the cases were reported to be around the trenches of World War. And when we compare it to, like, you know, like right now, then maybe then like of 100 years into the future, then we cannot really compare the infrastructure or like economic back then to now, because it's way more diverse now, and there are many other different causes as well.
Okay, hello. Okay, I would like to know, do you think the fear or panic can affect more the people than the disease itself? Like, do you think when they feel panic, it will be even worse, or maybe it will spread really fast? What do you think about it?
I think that maybe yes, because when someone is mentally unstable, right, the disease will act, they will panic, and maybe like it will be very delusional, because they might even spread misinformation on the internet. And this also a thing that I've read back then is that when you're stressed or when you're panicking or under like stressful situations, your body actually produces a hormone that negatively like affects you. So it's best in mind that we have to, you know, keep being positive and hope for the best in the future.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Vâng, xin được chúc mừng thí sinh Bùi Phạm Anh Đức.
Congratulations, Bùi Phạm Anh Đức, for your excellent performance.
Vâng, thưa quý vị, và chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với thí sinh tiếp theo. Tiếp theo sẽ là một thí sinh đến từ trường Trung học cơ sở và Trung học phổ thông FPT Hải Phòng. Chúng tôi xin mời quý vị sẽ cùng đến với phần thuyết trình của thí sinh Đinh Nguyễn Việt Hân.
So we will see a very cute contestant on stage right now. Another students from FPT schools. Let's welcome on stage Đinh Nguyễn Việt Hân.
Hello everyone, my name is Đinh Nguyễn Việt Hân and I am in grade 6 of Hải Phòng FPT school. I am truly honored to participate in the English Champion contest. Going through all the previous rounds, I have learned so much new things, not only from my experience, but from the other contestants as well. This competition is incredibly meaningful to me, as it provides a great opportunity for growth and self-improvement. I believe it will serve as a stepping stone for me to pursue my dreams of studying abroad. And lastly, to me and to all the other contestants, good luck. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, my name is Đinh Nguyễn Việt Hân and I am from grade 6 of FPT Hải Phòng School. Today I would like to share about the topic global collaboration to combat climate change and environmental issues. Climate change is a huge challenge, but we can face it together. If countries all share, then we can all win. So now let's talk about why and how. Firstly, teamwork always makes a difference. An example, China funds for solar and wind projects in Africa, replacing coal with clean energy. And China also shared high-speed railway technology with Indonesia, which made the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway. These examples are proof for what is possible when countries all join forces together. But it is not all rosy and smooth. Some countries, like India, still rely on coal. It's because it was cheap and it powers their economy. They want to grow, but the pollution hurts all of us. And then there comes the waste. Many rich countries usually dump their waste like plastic and junk into poorer places, like Southeast Asia. I have heard many stories of villages drowning in garbage and children dying because of the toxic air. So, what is the solution to this? There are two big steps. Step 1, go green, little by little. We cannot change the whole situation in a day or overnight, but we can start now. India's Solar India program is swapping coal with bright sunshine. It also creates jobs along the way. It is both practical and hopeful. Step 2, stop the waste. China has banned plastic imports from the West in 2018, forcing them to fix their own systems. Many countries should do this too. Keep the waste home and handle it right. Here's the whole picture. The climate change hits everybody. Wildfires in Australia can send smoke to New Zealand. Floods in one place can ruin lives in another. It doesn't care about borders at all. So, what should we do? We should share, build, and fix. Firstly, share resources and ideas, teaching each other to grow clean. Build clean energy, whether on solar panels and wind farms. And finally, 3, fix the waste mess. Stop dumping it and start solving it at home. We cannot change the whole situation, but we can do it together. Imagine a world with safe air, clean homes, and green forests, a safe place for us and the other generations to grow. That's what's worth fighting for. So, let's do it. Together, we can beat climate change. And together, we can make the world cleaner, fairer, and stronger. So, let's do it together. Thank you for listening.
Hello. Do you think Vietnam is doing enough to protect the environment here? Or do you think they have to change the way that they are doing it? Or how do you think they can change it or improve it?
Thank you for your question. And in my opinion, Vietnam is already changing. Denmark helps Vietnam to make wind farms and solar panels to change the environment here. But some homes still dump the trash or burn it away, releasing carbon dioxide into the air. So if we have a new law or rule, maybe the country will change.
Hi. One of the solutions that people usually tote around for the travel to replace the cars is to use EVs. Do you think it's a good long-term solution, or do you think it only works as a rubber band sort of solution for the our carbon footprint?
I think it was good for it because it reduces the amount of carbon that was released into the air and hurt the environment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Đinh Nguyễn Việt Hân, for your very nice performance.
Và thưa quý vị, và tiếp theo chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với thí sinh cuối cùng của bảng số 1. Thưa quý vị, thí sinh tiếp theo sẽ xuất hiện ở trên sân khấu của chúng ta, đó chính là bạn Lương Minh Huyền đến từ trường Trung học phổ thông chuyên Trần Phú, Hải Phòng.
Last but not least, for the first category, let's welcome on stage another student from Trần Phú High School for the gifted, Lương Minh Huyền. So good luck to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Minh Huyền. I'm 15 years old and I'm currently a English major student of Trần Phú Gifted High School. And now I'm very happy to announce that I'm one of the finalists of Hải Phòng English Championship contest. Although I'm a little bit nervous right now, I'm so excited to meet the contestants as well as see their performance as well. I'm also really happy to get the chance of presenting my idea as swiftly as possible. Hope that everyone will enjoy my presentation and good luck to me and other contestants as well. Hope that everyone will have a good day in the DJ. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. It's an honor to be here today, and I'm pretty sure that after hearing 4 presentations, you guys are a little bit tired, right? So I will make sure that my speech will be as brief as possible, okay? Let's get started. So as we have seen from the previous 4 presentations, technology has played a pivotal role in shaping our interconnected world. We have explored how it creates international education opportunities, transforms global communication via social media, promotes global cooperation in health issues, and finally introduces environmental initiatives. And now, as the final speaker this morning from Category 1, I will end our discussion by diving deeper into how technological advancements continue to drive international collaboration. Living in the 21st century, or in a technological era, we have witnessed the development of countless innovations, including the internet, artificial intelligence, and other online networking platforms. These breakthroughs in technology have revolutionized the way individuals, nations, and multinational organizations connect, communicate, and collaborate across borders. So, what are the most significant effects of emerging technologies on international collaboration? Due to the limited amount of time, I will only focus on 3 key ways that technology has enhanced global cooperation. First and foremost, advances in technology accelerate global communication. The rise of online communication platforms like Zoom and Microsoft Teams has enabled us to be more actively involved in cross-border discussions, regardless of geographic distance and time zones. Furthermore, online conferences, virtual workshops, and seminars have surged in frequency, reaching better agreements and faster decision-making. Take global policy making as an example. In the past, negotiations were slow and costly, mainly due to the extensive travel and prolonged discussions. Nowadays, thanks to these technological tools, international organizations like the UN or the World Health Organization can immediately coordinate humanitarian aid, swiftly address issues, and efficiently implement policies, making faster and more efficient response efforts. Beyond communication, technological advancements have significantly reduced costs in global operations. Cloud computing and digital platforms have allowed businesses to store and share data on a more wider world without relying on any physical infrastructure or shipping. Platforms like Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive has made data management more efficient and accessible compared to physical documentation. And finally, technological advancements has completely reshaped the workforce. In what way? By connecting companies with skilled professionals through platforms like LinkedIn and Upwork. Moreover, online learning platforms like edX and Coursera has helped workers to upskill in AI, in data analysis, and finally in other digital tools. This is crucial in the ever-evolving job market where everyone needs to possess some technological ability to stay competitive in this job market. And finally, AI-driven translation as well as digital communication has made cross-cultural collaboration seamless. Video conferencing or Google Translate has allowed workers from all walks of life or from different backgrounds to work together effortlessly, fostering innovation. A case in point is the Human Genome Project, completed in 2003. It is participated by 20 countries around the world, and there were key technologies applied, including used AI, cloud computing, and AI sequencers used to rapidly sequence eDNA. And this leads to the data interpretation and DNA identification, therefore leading to its final success of personalized medicine and genomics research future. In conclusion, technology has enhanced global cooperation by reducing costs, transforming communication, and finally reshaping the workforce. And as technology continues to evolve, I believe that it will lead to even more efficient global cooperation to tackle the world's most pressing challenges. That's the end of my talk today. Thank you for listening.
Hi. I'd like to ask you a question that's very recent and topical. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news, but ChatGPT recently made really big and I would say bad news with their AI tool copying the iconic style of Studio Ghibli. You've probably seen it on Facebook, lots of people posting it. And this brings me to a question. How do we make sure that technology doesn't replace the value that we put in our work, but adds on it, if that question makes sense?
Okay, so thank you for your question. First of all, I do believe that artificial intelligence, somehow it has more benefits to us. It leads to faster decision making. It gives a decision more efficient. But what ChatGPT or artificial intelligence lacks is emotion. It's the feelings. Like when you encounter a problem, usually a feeling and a motivation may gives you the energy to solve it immediately. Like ChatGPT, it only relies on its intelligence to solve problems. But like in a problem, there will be unprecedented events that can only be solved by the feelings of human.
Hello. Well, I would love to know, what do you think about connections, about technology and connections? Do you think technology is affecting like deep connections between the people or like real feelings? And what can we do? Like, should we avoid technology to have real connections, or do you think we can incorporate it? Or what do you think about it? Like, what is the best way to don't lose the connection, but also like keep the technology working?
Okay, I understand your question. So thank you so much for the question. Yeah, like technology is beneficial, but the only way that we can strike a balance between face-to-face interaction and using technology is about our awareness. Well, we need to be fully aware of the fact that, okay, technology is beneficial to our lives, but to a certain extent, because we need to be fully aware of the negative effects that technology may have on each of us so that we can still promote the face-to-face interaction. There's conversations that can only be fulfilled through our face-to-face interaction only. Thank you.
Thank you Lương Minh Huyền for your performance. Xin được cảm ơn thí sinh Lương Minh Huyền đã kết thúc phần thi dành cho các thí sinh ở bảng 1. We are here today not only to support our candidates, but also to receive some interesting gifts from the contest. So, I would like to have some questions for you, and please raise your hand if you have the answer. The quickest and the most correct one will get a gift from our sponsors. Are you ready for that? Okay? Let's start with a quite easy question. The question number 1. Which country is known for the Eiffel Tower? Is it A, Italy, or B, Spain, or C, France, or D, Germany? Super easy, right? Okay, we will see. Okay. Now, what is your answer?
I choose C.
What is C?
France.
His answer is France. Anybody has another answer? No, right? Because France is the correct answer. Congratulations. So here comes a gift from the Panda English Center. The question number 2. Be careful with this. Let's take a look. Which ocean is the largest in the world? Is it A, Atlantic Ocean, or B, Indian Ocean, or C, Arctic Ocean, or D, Pacific Ocean? Yeah, I have seen him twice. He has always been the fastest one. You are also a contestant.
I choose D, Pacific Ocean.
Fast and furious and correct. Congratulations. That's Pacific Ocean. Quite easy, right? So, another easy question. Get yourself ready for this. What currency is used in the United Kingdom? A, Euro, B, pound sterling, or C, dollar, or D, yen? Okay, I will go to this side. Okay. He was the fastest one.
My answer is pound.
Yeah. Pound in the UK. 100% correct. Congratulations. Still easy question, right? Now let's make it a little bit more difficult. The question is, which organization was established to promote economic cooperation among countries in the Asia-Pacific region? Is it A, ASEAN? Is it B, APEC? Is it C, NAFTA, or D, EU? Now it's getting a little bit more difficult, right? Okay, I have seen somebody from FPT, I think. What is your answer?
My answer is B, APEC.
APEC. Anybody has another answer? Still not a right answer, unfortunately. Yeah, so unfortunately, it's not the correct answer. We still have the other 3. I would like to repeat the question one more time. Listen carefully. Which organization was established to promote economic cooperation among countries in The Asia Pacific region. A, ASEAN, B, APEC, which is already wrong, right? C, NAFTA, or D? Sorry, APEC. Oh my God, it's my mistake. I thought that APEC B was NAFTA or ASEAN. Sorry. So B, APEC was the correct answer. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, I thought that B was like ASEAN or NAFTA. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so this time it won't be an open question. So no longer multiple choice. Let's go for your own answer. What does www stand for on internet? Okay, the fastest girl here. Feel confident?
My answer is World Wide Web.
So that is the reaction that we want to hear because it is 100% correct. Congratulations! And we still have a lot of questions and gifts are waiting for you at the later part of the program. So stay tuned and we will be back very soon. So for the time being, let's go back to our contestant. Thank you.
Quý vị, tiếp theo các thí sinh bảng 1 sẽ thử tài nhanh trí trong phần thi cùng với trả lời câu hỏi. Phần thi này sẽ gồm 10 câu hỏi. Ngay sau khi nghe một thành viên ban giám khảo đọc câu hỏi xong và tín hiệu 15 giây bắt đầu, thí sinh nhanh chóng bấm chuông để giành quyền trả lời trong khoảng thời gian tối đa là 15 giây. Và khi bạn bấm chuông được trả lời trước, mỗi câu trả lời đúng và nhanh nhất sẽ được 1 điểm. Trường hợp thí sinh trả lời đầu tiên sai thì sẽ nhường cơ hội duy nhất cho các bạn còn lại để trả lời giành 1 điểm.
So for this part, there will be a quiz offering a chance for you to give quick answers to the questions. Right after the judge read out the question and the signal with 15 seconds starts. The contestants will compete to press button on the first come, first choice basic and give proper answers in 15 seconds. It includes 10 questions and each fastest and correct answer gives you 1 score. If the fastest contestant gives a wrong answer, the rest will have 1 more chance to answer and possibly get 1 score.
Vâng, và bây giờ thì xin mời quý vị chúng ta hãy cùng dành một tràng pháo tay để cùng chào đón 5 thí sinh của bảng 1. Xin mời.
Let's welcome on stage our first 5 contestants.
Vâng, và trước khi mà chúng ta bắt đầu cái phần thi này thì xin mời các bạn hãy thử chuông của mình nào, từng người thử một nha. Wow.
You have to wait until the signal ends.
Vâng, và như vậy là có thể nói rằng là tất cả các thí sinh của chúng ta đã có thể sẵn sàng để trả lời phần câu hỏi của ban giám khảo. Các bạn đã sẵn sàng chưa ạ? Nếu sẵn sàng hãy giơ cao 2 tay của mình lên nói sẵn sàng nào. 2, 3. Yeah. Không phải nói tiếng Anh chứ đúng không ạ?
So for this part, we would like to invite one judge to the stage and conduct this multiple choice test. Yeah, I would like to invite one of you. Các bạn lưu ý là trong phần này thì chuông sẽ chỉ nhận tín hiệu của một bạn nhanh nhất thôi ạ. Các bạn có thể điều chỉnh vị trí của chuông để sao cho phù hợp nhất với lại tầm với của các bạn. Bây giờ có thể kéo gần lại hoặc như thế nào đó thì tùy. Nhưng có nghĩa là sẽ chỉ nhận tín hiệu của một người nhanh nhất thôi ạ.
Hey guys. Oh, we're ready. All right, go.
Và xin mời ban tổ chức sẽ cho chúng tôi phong bì câu hỏi đầu tiên.
All right, you guys ready? All right, let's do it.
Unveiling
Takes
the
a while,
question.
sorry.
Các bạn nhớ là các bạn sẽ bắt đầu bấm chuông sau khi nghe tín hiệu là 15 giây bắt đầu. Bạn nào mà bấm chuông trước là mình sẽ không tính phần bấm chuông đó nhé. Mọi người hết sức bình tĩnh. Điều chỉnh chuông nhá, vị trí của chuông là sẵn sàng chưa nào?
All right, guys. Question number 1. Again, I will explain the rules. So I'll ask you a question. I'll give you options. You tell me which option is correct. All right? Hands on the table. Awesome. Let's go. Number 1. Localization is A. Illustrated by ethnic restaurants in big cities. B. The integration of goods and capital with a local market. C. A phenomenon whereby greater global integration creates opportunity for local cultures to express themselves. Or D. When anthropologists learn the local language while doing research.
15 giây bắt đầu. Wow, really
Okay.
fast then. So, what is your answer?
I think it could be C.
Sorry, it's not C.
Oh.
Go for it.
I think the answer is B.
Correct.
So, 1 point for her. And here comes the second question.
Number 2. How has technological advancement impacted globalization? A. It has decreased communication and connectivity between countries. B. It has limited the flow of information and ideas across borders. C. It has facilitated communication, trade, and the exchange of information worldwide. Or D. It has made countries more isolated and self-sufficient. Oh, okay.
Wait for me first, right? Just take it easy a little bit. 15 giây bắt đầu. Okay.
My answer is C.
Okay, yeah, it's C.
It's C. So, one correct answer.
All right, number 3. What is the term used for the outsourcing of jobs to countries with lower labor costs? Is it A, internationalization, B, protectionism, C, localization, or D, offshoring? Well, go for it.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Sorry. Okay, ready? 15 giây bắt đầu. One more time, one more time. Bình tĩnh nha. 15 giây bắt đầu. Okay.
It's D.
Correct.
D, correct answer.
Number 4. Which aspect of globalization has led to the spread of international fast food chains and popular brands worldwide? Is it A, cultural exchange? Is it B, technological advancements? Is it C, economic integration? Or D, political cooperation?
15 giây bắt đầu. Okay, good luck to you this time.
Personally, I think it could be C.
It could be C, but it's not the answer.
Oh.
Okay. I think it's A.
Correct.
So number 3 and 4, take it easy a little bit, take a deep breath, and ready for the next questions.
All right, we're halfway there. Number 5. Which transportation mode is commonly used for long-distance shipments across international borders? A, trucks, B, ships, C, trains, or D, vans? Wait for her.
15 giây bắt đầu.
Go for it.
This one seems to be quite easy for you, right? Okay, let's see.
Ships.
Correct.
So we still have halfway to go, right?
Number 6. Which of the following is an example of a multinational corporation? A, a small family-owned business operating only within its home country. B, a large company that operates in multiple countries and has offices worldwide. C, a government-owned enterprise serving the needs of its country's citizens. Or D, an organization dedicated to providing aid and relief during distresses.
15 giây bắt đầu.
Go for it.
I think it could be B.
Correct.
Okay, so this time, one correct answer for you.
4 questions to go, guys. Number 7. Which of the following is a strategy used by some countries to protect their domestic industries from foreign competition? A. Globalization. B. Offshoring. C. Localization. Or D. Protectionism? Wait for the MC.
Okay, 15 giây bắt đầu.
It's D, protectionism.
Correct.
That's definitely a correct answer.
Number 8, you guys ready? All right. Which of the following is not a form of intellectual property protection? Not. A. Brand identity. B. Copyright. C. Trademark. And D. Trade secret.
15 giây bắt đầu. Okay.
Wait, is it possible if you can repeat the A1 again? Oh.
All right, so let me repeat the whole question just in case. So, which of the following is not a form of intellectual property protection? Not a strategy. So, A. Brand identity. B. Copyright. C. Trademark. D. Trade secret.
It could be trade secret?
No. Ooh, okay. Go for it.
I think it's B.
Incorrect. Not a form of protection. Incorrect. So, one more?
No, so you won't provide the correct answer.
So the correct answer is brand identity. It's not really, it's not really a form of protecting your own brand.
So that is A. Okay.
Number 9. You guys ready? All right. Which group of people is most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, such as extreme weather events or food insecurity? Urban dwellers, wealthy individuals, indigenous communities, or scientists and researchers?
15 giây bắt đầu. Wow.
Okay.
Seems to be very fast then.
I think it could be indigenous people.
Correct.
Congratulations. Take it easy. Get fast.
All right. And the last one. You guys ready? Let's do it. How can individuals build a professional network for career development? A. By joining a sports club. You could. B. By attending industry-level events and conferences. C. By visiting museums. Or D. By joining a cooking class.
15 giây bắt đầu. Okay. There is no sound, but we have the signal here.
It's B.
Yes, correct. Well done.
So, congratulations, all of you, for completing your competition. Once again, thank you very much. And thank you as well. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you. Xin chào cảm ơn tất cả các bạn và xin được cảm ơn giám khảo của chúng ta.
Ta sẽ cùng đến với phần thi mong đợi nhất của các thí sinh ở bảng 2. Và ngay bây giờ, xin mời mọi người chúng ta hãy cùng hướng sự chú ý của mình về phía khu vực màn hình để xem 5 thí sinh tiếp theo sẽ là ai. Xin mời.
So, here comes the category 2. And let's check it out who they are.
Hello everyone, my name is Ngọc Hà. I am a teacher at Nguyễn Huệ Primary School, Hồng Bàng District. I feel very fortunate to be one of the 5 finalists in the English Championship. Through this competition, I have realized the importance of continuous self-improvement. I hope to contribute positively to the development of both community and Hải City. I wish the competition great success. Thanks for listening.
Hi, my name is Nguyên Hồng Đức. I'm currently studying in Trần Phú High School for the Gifted, majoring in English. And I really want to say that I love English. and so is sports. If English is basketball, then I must dribble around to overcome my hardships. If English is volleyball, I must jump high to serve my knowledge. Finally, if English is pickleball, I must embrace the new rules, the styles, and ideas. I want to say that the HECC is meant for all. My target, a new experience, and a hardship that I must overcome. Basically, being able to participate in this event has been my greatest step, helping me in finding a new chapter of my life. And I want to wish all my competitors good luck. That's it.
In a club with some wines and I pipe down. Shawty got me high too high. I be standing on the beach with some wine.
Hello everyone, my name is Mike. Currently, I'm a teacher of English. To me, English is more than just a job, it's a journey. A journey that has taught me that with patience and belief in the process, I can overcome any challenge that comes my way. I decided to join this competition because my students are participating as well. I want to show them that determination and a good learning attitude truly matter, and that we should never stop learning, no matter who we are. I'm really excited to be a part of this meaningful journey, and I really look forward to learning and growing with all of you. Thank you for this opportunity.
First, I would like to send greetings to all of the judges, the committee of Hải Phòng English Championship, and all of my contestants. My full name is Trần Thị Ước, and I'm from National Economics University. I had a brilliant young time, met new friends and foreign friends when I used to be a tour guide. I realized that English is not only a language, but it is also a culture and global door. I took all of my courage and confidence to participate in this contest today. I wish all of my friends you will try your best and win the highest prize of this contest. And again, I'm Trần Thị Ước from National Economics University. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Phan Bao Long Avi from class 12A1 Aptitude School. Welcome to my presentation. As a member of the prestigious Aptitude School, I'm very happy to be able to study in such a warming and welcoming institution, a place where I can seriously consider my second home.
Hey! Keep going. Well, you may ask what is my goal here. Well, some might think I'm here for the money prize or the reputation, but actually it's very simple. I'm just here for this guy, my mentor and the one that inspired me to join this contest in the first place.
Today I bring to you the role of technology in global connectivity. And answering the question, is technology bridging the gaps between cultures or creating new divides? Enjoy the show, and thank you for listening.
Vâng, và đó chính là 5 thí sinh của chúng ta ở bảng 2. Rất hấp dẫn phải không ạ?
So those are the 5 contestants in the second category for today contest. So it looks very interesting and we are so excited to welcome them, right?
Vâng, và ngay bây giờ xin mời các thí sinh của bảng 2 chúng ta hãy cùng xuất hiện trên sân khấu nào. Một tràng pháo tay thật lớn được không ạ? Vâng, và thưa quý vị, trong phần thi này thì 5 thí sinh của chúng ta sẽ cùng tranh biện với nhau về một chủ đề do một thí sinh trình bày.
In the first part, all 4 candidates will debate with another one about one topic that they present.
Và thí sinh của chúng ta sẽ có 5 phút để trình bày về đề tài của mình. Nếu vượt quá thời gian trình bày, thí sinh sẽ bị trừ 3 điểm cho mỗi phút quá giờ. Và sau khi nghe xong phần trình bày, các thí sinh còn lại sẽ đặt câu hỏi chất vấn bằng cách bấm chuông để hỏi. Ban giám khảo sẽ cho điểm cả người hỏi và cả người trả lời. Người trình bày đề tài sẽ được tối đa là 75 điểm cho phần trình bày, 25 điểm cho phần tranh biện và người chất vấn sẽ có tối đa là 5 điểm cho phần hỏi của mình. Trường hợp không có thí sinh nào đặt câu hỏi thì ban giám khảo sẽ hỏi chất vấn những người trình bày đề tài. Và trường hợp này chỉ có người trình bày đề tài có điểm đối với câu hỏi trả lời phù hợp.
So ladies and gentlemen, one candidate can make a presentation within 5 minutes. If the time limit is exceeded, 3 scores are deducted per 1 minute. After listening to the presentation, the other candidates put questions to the speaker by pressing the bell button. This debate will last for around 5 minutes. Scores are given to both the presenter and the askers. The presenter shall have maximum 75 scores for their presentation and 25 scores for the debate. Askers will get maximum 5 scores for all questions asked. The judge may have questions for the presenter in case no one asks. In this case, only presenter shall get scores for the suitable answers. Is it clear for you?
Vâng ạ, và cũng như lúc nãy thì chúng ta sẽ cùng tiếp tục thử lại chuông ha. Xin mời mọi người. Từng người một nha.
Rồi lần này chúng ta sẽ đi từ 5 đến 4 đến 3 đi ạ. Xin mời.
Rồi, 5 rồi ạ, bây giờ đến 4 ạ. Vâng, và như vậy là có thể nói rằng tất cả các phần chuông của chúng ta đã hoàn toàn sẵn sàng.
Sorry? I'm afraid not. Yeah.
Vâng ạ, và thưa quý vị, ngay sau đây chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với thí sinh thứ nhất, đó chính là bạn Nguyễn Thị Ngọc Hà, đến với chúng ta từ trường tiểu học Nguyễn Huệ, là người đầu tiên trình bày đề tài. Liệu du lịch có thúc đẩy việc giao lưu văn hóa hay gây ra tổn thất văn hóa hoặc hàng hóa văn hóa? Vâng ạ, xin mời.
The first candidate, Nguyễn Thị Ngọc Hà from the primary school Nguyễn Huệ. Her topic is, does tourism promote cultural exchange or lead to cultural commodification or loss? You have 5 minutes.
Hello everyone, my name is Ngọc Hà. I'm a teacher at Nguyễn Huệ Primary School. First, I have a question for you, all of you today. Do you like to travel, yes or no? Yes, of course, yes. I think everybody like to travel. And now I'm going to talk about the topic that's very close to our hearts. That is travel or tourism. Especially on the impact of tourism on local cultures. Specifically, I will check whether tourism promotes cultural exchange or whether it leads to the list of cultural commodification and loss of culture. As we know, tourism plays an important role in the economic growth. It's by generating revenue, creating opportunity of employment and promoting cultural exchange. According to World Travel of Tourism Council's 2020 Economic Impact Report, tourism sector contributed about 10.3% of tourism in global cultural GDP of 2019. First, I'm going to talk about the positive side of tourism. One of tourism benefits is preserving culture. The revenue from tourism have from traditions and restore, recycle histories, sites, and support traditional arts. For example, in Thailand, tourism maintain ancient town and keep local craft makers alive. It's like Wat Pho Temple in Bangkok, Thailand, and Nice Bazaar in Chiang Mai, Thailand. One more example is in Japan, visitors attend traditional tea ceremonies and festivals like Hanami festivals, sustain these customs. Last example is in Vietnam, and especially in Hải Phòng city. Festivals like Legend Female General Festivals and Buffalo Fighting Festivals and Red Flamboyant Festivals attract visitors, boost local rights and preserve local cultures. One more positive side of tourism is tourism encourages cultural exchange. When travelers experience traditions and history directly, they develop a deeper understanding of different cultures. Besides of positive side, tourism also has downsides. One major issue of tourism is cultural commodification. When traditions are altered just to entertain the tourists, and over time these traditions lose their original essence and becomes test performances. For example, in Kenya, Atumu traditional performed for visitors instead of original cultures. One more downside of tourism is just local communities. When a destination is more popular, the demand for hotels, restaurants, and infrastructure increase, and have replaced by tourism-related work. To maximize the benefits of tourism while minimizing drawbacks, sustainable tourism is necessary. So, in conclusion, tourism is important. It drives economies and help preserve cultural traditions. We can protect tradition while fostering meaningful cultural connections. Thanks for listening. Hey guys, do you have any questions for me?
Firstly, congratulations for your presentation. And I have a question for you. Do you think that tourism, when we travel a lot, will cause air pollution and waste pollution? Because when we will travel a lot, we will throw a lot of rubbish and garbage into the pollution and to the environment. So do you think tourism lead to the air pollution and water pollution in the world? Thank you.
Thank you for your questions, and it is a great question and difficult questions. I think pollution, environment, right? In my opinion, tourism, in my opinion, certain tourism is necessary, but such as I thought. So when we
sorry, I have a question for you. So
you.
travel can in turn become a powerful commodities for the citizen living in the country. But do you not think that eventually and in the long term that can actually halt the technical progression of that country, since they are focusing on preserving the old and not focusing on creating the new things and developing that way?
Thank you. I think we develop old things and new things. It is necessary. Not old thing on. It's just not a new thing. We have to develop both of them in the same time. Yes.
Thank you for your presentation, and I have one crucial question, and this is a two-part question revolving a yes or no, and I do not see your stance or your statement. Is it a yes or is it a no? I do not see it.
Sorry.
Your question is a two-part question about yes and no.
Yes.
Or a balance, or what it depends. But I do not see any of your statement or a yes or no in your slides or in your speech. So what is your stance or statement, yes or no?
No.
Wait, it's about the one side of culture, tourism bringing the culture exchange, or does it bring culture commodification? So which sides are you on?
For me?
Yeah.
For me?
Just want to say one thing. I just want to be sure.
Yes.
It depends, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Questions.
Another one.
Another? Okay.
Culture commodification is about the fact that tourism has made those culture turn into some kind of products to entertain tourists. And this can make a lot of money for the locals. So do you think this commodification is a good thing or a bad thing or entirely a bad thing?
I think it's both of them. It is good thing because it have money from tourism, but it's bad thing because it is just a stage performance and lose their original reasons. So I think it's both.
Okay, thank you for your answers and also thank you for your performance. So that is our first contestants. Thank you. Và đó cũng là phần dự thi của thí sinh đầu tiên ở trong bảng này. Và trong phần tiếp theo chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với thí sinh số 2 là bạn Nguyễn Hồng Đức đến từ Trung học phổ thông chuyên Trần Phú. Đề tài của bạn là liệu các quốc gia phát triển có nên gánh trách nhiệm về biến đổi khí hậu nhiều hơn các nước đang phát triển hay không? Let's welcome Nguyễn Hồng Đức from Trần Phú High School for the Gifted with the topic of should developed countries bear more responsibility for climate change than developing nations? 5 minutes for you.
Okay, hi. I'm Nguyễn Hồng Đức, and you already seen from my beautiful introduction, and I do not want to waste any time. Let's get right into it. So, should developed countries bear more responsibility than developing ones for climate change? Obviously, my answer is yes, but with something we discuss later on. So, why should these nations bear more accountability or be at the forefront of the defense against climate change? Easily, it's about the debt that these nations have accumulated throughout the years. So, years ago, industrial revolutions like in the 90s have led to many nations to pioneer in the overusage and overexploitation of fossil fuels. And there's a real-life evidence by scientists analyzing ice cores to basically compare the carbon emissions in the atmosphere now and in the past. So as you can see, before 1911, the figure never surpassed the 300 mark. Even in the Pleistocene epoch, roughly 2 million years ago, where glacier melted rapidly and released a bunch of carbon into the ozone layer, it never superseded 300. But as you can see, after 1911, the figure skyrocketed to even 421.9 parts per million today. And it's also a mark that the second industrial revolution happened, introducing internal combustion engines used in vehicles, automations, and industries. Moreover, nowadays, urbanizations are happening a lot in many of these nations. Like high-rise buildings are being successfully built, along with fossil-based vehicles are also roaming around the world, releasing a lot of gases. And as you can see, the figure showcases information about the emission from electricity and heat from buildings. And as you can see, despite the data going downwards, it is still staggeringly high at over 800 million tons of carbon dioxide being released. So should their larger contribution lead to larger responsibility? Well, we need to look at the other side of the statement, which is developing nations also have some pressing issues, like deforestation happening in Brazil, like the Amazon forest, like are being chopped down every single day to accommodate housing or infrastructure, industrial things, you know. And moreover, population in China or India surpassed 1 billion over the years. So, you know, people using heatings inside their home, even from the digestive system, that methane and other harmful gases are also being released into the atmospheric system. So, but responsibility, I'll say, is not about, or not only about the corporates behind the phenomenon, it's also about the resolution and who's gonna solve it. So, in this scenario, if we put these developing nations at the forefront of the line defense against climate change, I'll say it is unethical because most of them lack the adequate technology to combat such impact. Let's take forest fire example. It requires nations to use equipments like helicopter or tons of gallons of water to help extinguish these threats. But most of these nations, like Brazil or the Africans, do not have such technology yet. On the other hand, developed nations already have the resources and technology necessary, like renewable energies pioneered by many nations, like Germany, invested heavily in nuclear power or maybe other simple form like solar, wind, or geothermal. Moreover, carbon storage is a new one, helping nations to collect and convert these excessive carbon dioxide from industry to turn into building blocks to help with infrastructures. Moreover, data and monitoring used by the US and the European nations have basically helped nations to locate the specialized area that are more affected by global warming and climate change, and then take drastic measures to help them. So, conclusion is that though the onus of the climate change or global warming should be on the shoulders of advanced nations, I'll say the fault of the developing nations are also pronounced. And I believe that we should go to a collaboration to help effectively and productively mitigate such issue. Thank you. I open any for POI sessions. Thank you.
Okay, I think that the topic is quite challenging and it's quite a bit interesting. And you know that when I was in the university, my major was in about natural resources. So I'm wondering, your question is, should developed country care more about the climate change than the developing country? So your answer is yes or no?
Yes,
Oh.
but with a little counter argument.
Yes, and do you think that if more developed country, they care more about the climate change due to the advancement of AI or how can I say the technology? So do you think that many developing countries they will rely a lot on developed country and they will do nothing to preserve our environment? For example, in Venezuela or in Brazil, they exploit a lot many natural resources like diamond, for example, and it leads to, as you can say, that rainforest and is fire forest, right? So why another country they do nothing, but they have to get that influence from those countries. They did very severe impacts on the environment. This is my opinion about your topic, and can we discuss this?
Your question is really long. Can you rephrase it into one sentence?
Yes, I mean that because some of the countries they did many severe impact on the environment, but some countries they do nothing and they live in the peace world. So why they have to collaborate? They have to solve the influence, the impact that many countries they did to the environment.
Well, I'll say that climate change is not about one part of the world, it's about a global problem. And if one country, for example, like let's say untouched country like Vietnam is currently having no absolute impact on because of global warming, I'll say. But in the future, it is predicted that 90% of our population will be affected by high rise the sea, or maybe global being warmer. I'll say if those nations do not cooperate, I think it will have severe impacts because it is a very important thing for the world to go together and think of a universal plan, a universal plan to help with these problems, to effectively mitigate them, and to solve them effectively in the long term, so no effects will be endured. I think so.
Yes, I see that climate change is global issues, but I mean that, for example, Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
And we did a very little impact on climate change, but we have to solve a very big issues. So I think this is unfair because we are the victim of climate change, right? So this is unfair. So I will give the opportunity for another contestant.
All right, I agree with you that the more developed countries should bear the responsibility, but they need cooperation, right? So the developing countries will become more irresponsible because the others, the developed ones, have to bear a higher responsibility. So what are the ways for us to limit that kind of situation?
You want for me to answer both questions?
Two questions. The first one, who should take the responsibility for the cooperation between two sides, developing and developed? And the second one is, how can we make sure that developing countries will not exceed the permitted level of carbon dioxide emission?
Well, for the first question, I'll say that global organizations have already taken measures in helping these nations to come together and put up a fight. Although the developed nations should bear more responsibility, the world really needs the help of these developing nations. For example, China is a leading factor in helping with new renewable energies like solar or wind, even hydrogen. For the second question, I'll say that because of the responsibility being put for more advanced nations, the other will definitely be be more reckless in their ways. So to impose what I've seen, which is called carbon tax, limiting the amount of carbon dioxide being released to the atmosphere and impose fine if you exceed it, is definitely a way to help with the issue. Thank you.
Hi, so these developing country, the already developed countries, they will, can you hear me? The already developed countries, they're going to help these still developing countries in the form of money, right? Through financial supports and through actions. And you agree that probably going to come from in the form of taxes in their own nation, the taxes on their citizens. So for example, like a country like USA where taxes is already a pressing issue, how are you going to convince them to be able to pay more tax, to actually have to contribute more to save these nations that they basically have no relation to or have no reason to have to care for?
Like you saying that my tax is about what again?
So if you want to save, if you want to extend helps to these countries, obviously you need funds to do that, right? So you can't do that with the current fund that they already have because they're already spending all of it every year. So of course they have to raise the tax to be able to get more funds, to be able to save, to help the countries around the world. So for example, the USA, they would do that. So in a democratic country such as that, how do you convince the citizens that they have to go ahead and spend their hard-earned money to save nations, people that they don't have any relations to, and they don't have no reason to care for?
Interesting. To be honest, there will be definitely some protests regarding this, about the tax, about protecting the environment, something people really do not like investing their money in. It's about, like let's say we marginalize those people who do not really care about the environment. They are bad people, I'll say. But to convince the overall citizen and audience about the impact of the world, we need to raise the awareness of the people of the actual impact of climate change. Like, it is gonna be very harmful to their economy as well. Like the occupation will be taking risk. For example, like if global warming is hotter, many restaurants in Alaska would lose their precious money on dry aging Chinook salmon, for example. I read that on the article, sorry. And yeah.
Yeah, the time for question is up. So thank you very much for your question. Also, thank you for your presentation. So that is our contestant Nguyễn Hồng Đức from Trần Phú High School for the Gifted. Xin được chúc mừng phần dự thi của thí sinh Nguyễn Hồng Đức đến từ trường Trung học phổ thông chuyên Trần Phú. Và trong phần tiếp theo của chương trình, chúng ta sẽ cùng gặp gỡ thí sinh Quách Đức Mạnh đến từ trường Trung học cơ sở và Trung học phổ thông FPT Hải Phòng với đề tài cách thức làm việc từ xa và tự động hóa tác động lên thị trường lao động toàn cầu như thế nào. So here comes our contestant Quách Đức Mạnh from FPT Schools with the topic of how will remote work and automation impact global labor markets. 5 minutes for you.
All right, just imagine that going into a museum in 2040, seeing this kind of typical office cubicle in a frame labeled, "This was an office worker." So what do you think? Sounds crazy, right? But work already changes. It already feels like just science fiction. And today, I'm standing right here, and we'll be talking about the future of work in a global economy, and how will remote work and automation impact global labor markets. And my name is Quách Đức Mạnh. All right, so let's be back here. We are talking about work is changing really fast. So, as you see, remember 2020, all the offices, all the classrooms suddenly became the Brady Bunch style video grids like this because of the pandemic, right? And millions workers since that day have worked from home. And nowadays we see about 36 million Americans are also working remotely. So that's a big number. And also, with the rise of robots, AI and automation is altering in the process of manufacturing and also in the process of doing work for people. So all the tasks once done by humans, for example, for teachers is grading, doing the housework and designing the materials. For the workers is manufacturing or just transporting things. They are all done by AI, by robots nowadays. And we also see the
the global market has become the global playground in which a lot of people from all over the world get connected. And the jobs and teams span countries. For example, you can see some people have colleagues, teammates, or even bosses living halfway across the world. So that's the norm right now. So what can be the problems and the impacts on this kind of scenario? Well, first and foremost, it causes automation anxiety, which means that people nowadays are afraid of being taken jobs by terminators. I mean the robots right here. So according to McKinsey Global Institute analysis, between 400 million and 800 million individuals could be displaced by automation and need to find the new jobs by 2030. So another thing here I want to show you, it can be illustrated with this pie chart. We have the office here and at home here. So we are shifting from working at the office to working from home. So previously, people spent a lot of time sitting in traffic, getting lunch, getting coffee, chatting with co-workers, working. But nowadays, most of the time can be spent only on working because they are working from home, working remotely. And that leads to some states of being isolated. Sometimes people also suffer from Zoom fatigue, which means that they feel exhausted because of standing, because of sitting in front of the screen for too long. And we have no certain boundaries between work and life. So no more water cooler gossips, no more high five in the hallways, and no more motivation for workers. And we also have some other problems. The next one is global competition. Nowadays, workers, on the one hand, you can apply for any job you want across the world with just a click of the but so can everyone. It means that you have to compete with a bigger number of candidates. And sometimes for people in high-cost countries, they can feel the pressure from the talents from other countries who are willing to do the job with a lower pay. And also we have seen the skill gaps, which is widened over the time. This is because nowadays we still have countryside. For example, in Vietnam or in some other Asian countries, we still have a lot of regions in the countryside and people don't have stable access to the internet. But in the developed countries, people have the full access to the internet and all the information needed, and they can improve themselves very quickly. So what can be the solutions for this scenario? These are just some of the suggested solutions recommended by me myself. So first and foremost, it should be the lifelong learning habit. So people should adopt this kind of habit into their own life because they need to keep up improving their skills. They need to level up some very practical skills such as technology, coding, critical thinking. And also, sometimes people also need to change the mindset. For example, previously, a lot of people refused to work with the machines, to work with AI, but nowadays, that is what we need to do. For example, for a teacher, they can become more effective with the help of AI. They can ask the AI to grade the quizzes, and they spend the rest of their time on motivating their students. For some other people, for example, for a doctor, they can also use AI, use machines to crunch data to analyze all the symptoms, and they focus more on patient care. And another solution I want to suggest here is use this kind of flexible model. It is called hybrid work. So you see this man, business on top and party on the bottom, right? So we should mix between the office work where you see the teamwork, where you see the interactions among the members, and also we should sometimes make use of remote work. That can help you to have more time to handle all the work and without having joined any meetings or maybe any problems in progress. So we should try to strike the balance between between office and remote workplace. And last but not least, people also should play to human strengths. There are some things that make us uniquely humans. For example, we have some qualities with creativity, empathy, and teamwork. They are the things that no machines or no robots can change or alter us. And in conclusion, first, I want to emphasize again, we should embrace the change, stay curious, and try to be ready for any change. And you need to change the perception to that, to the point that our world today is becoming more global and connected. And that is the chance for you to get more ideas, more diverse ideas, and also more innovative opinions from other people. And also, the technology is here to support us, and they should be considered as our friends, our qualities as humans. For example, the heart, the humor cannot be changed, and we should use that to steer and to control the machines. And after all, any kind of machine or AI model should have one person to program it. And remember that it takes a human to inspire other humans as well. And last but not least, always stay positive, because any change can happen at any time. And if you are always ready for any change that life can throw at you, then of course you can someday just when you face with challenge, you can just say challenge accepted. So thank you for listening.
Oh, okay. So I have some expansion to your presentation. It is really great. What do you think about this? Automation is currently undergoing to replace many jobs. So do you think the local traditional crafts will erode, especially when these kind of automation and remote working create job opportunities for employees and other craftsmen?
Yeah, as I mentioned, of course, there are jobs that can be replaced by robots and even traditional crafts making. Our manufacturing process can be one of those. So some people may lose their jobs because right now we have the machines with higher efficiency, right? But the point here is that you still need someone who take care of the like the evaluating step. And when you have to evaluate or when you want to program a machine to do the exact job, of course, those craft artists or those artisans, they should be the one who still take the responsibility for doing this. So maybe we'll have a shift from this job to another job, not really a loss.
I have two questions for you. First off, do you make the slide from Gamma?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, AI is the best, right?
So you use AI to create your slides?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to be clear. The second question is, you say that AI has some things, our human have some things that AI cannot never replace, such as creativity and human emotions. But some experts, famous people such as Stephen Hawking or Elon Musk, they argue that AI eventually one day can surpass human in every way and every aspect. So do you think that by integrating them so heavily into our workforce as well as our everyday life, one day that can actually become the doom spell for humanity?
Of course, that can be a risk for humans, but I don't think they can totally replace every aspect in our life. For example, as I was mentioning, when it comes to emotions, when it comes to the heart, of course, you cannot just ask the machine to donate to other people when they see the very poor people, right? It comes from your heart and it comes from your interaction with other people. So there will be some jobs that may not be altered, and that should be something related to like social science. So I think, yeah. So there are risks, but it cannot be totally replaced.
Another question? I was going to ask something.
You know what? My question is your question, okay?
All right, thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's me. Over here.
Yeah. All right.
Because we don't have the third person. Or do we? All right, so you brought up very good points about remote work, combining remote work. But I also wanted to ask, I don't know if how familiar you are with this, but a lot of companies push back on remote work, and a lot of workers are very unhappy with that. Where do you think should the line be between balancing the interest of the company, which is to, pay rent to the owners of the building, build a corporate culture, and between the balance and the interest of the workers, which is to have a balanced work-life situation going on and spending more time with family while also being very effective at work?
Yeah, as I told you, it's very difficult for individuals to try to balance between remote work or maybe office work, right? And it is even more difficult for the companies and organizations as well, because they have a lot of employees who will be ready to fight against them if they just give or impose maybe an improper policy or the change, right? Normally, companies should carry out a survey first. And they should also based on the data of efficiency. For example, if they switch to remote working, is it better? Is it really better in terms of quality and of the products, or maybe the quality of the work? And also, they should do the survey with the with the responses from the employees as well. So if we have that kind of agreement between the employees and employers, then they can, of course, conduct that kind of policy. That is one way, but another thing is that I think, so for companies, it's very difficult if they just become really they try to do things without any concern about employees' opinions. Sometimes the organization will try to reduce the overall cost, the cost of building, the cost of workplace, because working from home is the best way. But that is that will comes with the cost of the culture among the members of the company.
Well, this is a common problem, really, but of course, with the development of AI, when AI eventually be able to do every manual work, most of the intelligent works that human can do, then do you think that eventually there will be no jobs left for humans, and that in turn will create disparities between the rich and the poor even more than now, where only the AIs have work to do and only the rich stay rich while the poor stay poor because there's no work to do?
I still protect my standpoint on your question that whether it will replace humans totally or not. It cannot happen. But for the second part, in terms of the gap between the rich and the poor, or maybe between the qualified employees and the very basic or beginner in the field, of course there will be widened gap, and there will be a lot of difficulties for people who are not really qualified, who don't join any training in terms of AI or robots, and that would be a very difficult, a big effort for any nation or any organization to train those people.
Thank you and congratulations for your performance. Thank you very much. Thank you. Xin được chúc mừng thí sinh Quách Đức Mạnh đã hoàn thành phần dự thi của mình. And now let's welcome on stage Trần Thị Ước from National Economic Universities with the topic of how effective are youth-led movements in driving international policy change. Trong phần tiếp theo, chúng ta sẽ cùng gặp gỡ thí sinh Trần Thị Ước đến từ Trường Đại học Kinh tế Quốc dân với đề tài các phong trào do thanh niên khởi xướng có hiệu quả như thế nào trong dẫn dắt những thay đổi về chính sách quốc tế. 5 minutes for you.
To be honest, this topic is quite hard for me. It's quite challenging because this topic is quite sensitive, right? And it's because of the policy. It is related to the government, to the nation. So here is my question. And the first one, let's answer one question. What is the definition of the youth? For me, the youth, they are a feature of a nation and they are prosperity of our planet. And it has been proven that the youth, they have active and positive participation in international policy changes. And today I will list some movements that are led by the youth. The first one is Fridays for Future and climate change policies. And the slogan is Stop Climate Change Before It Changes Us. And compared to the size of this movement, it's hard to believe it all began with a girl who just 15 years old, and she was very frustrated and angry with the negligence of all the participants, of all the politicians, and the minimal effort to meet the climate change effort. And a month after her strike, school, more than 20,000 students all around the world had joined the movement as strike school, and a year later, more than 6 million people had joined her school strike at United Nations in 2015 to request urgent action to prevent climate change. And look at this screen. Who is he? He is UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, right? And they commit to reduce the carbon emission by 45% in 2030 and carbon neutrality in 2050. And the next one is March for Our Life and gun control policies. And you can see that this phenomenon is very dangerous and very harmful especially in the US, right? Because there are a lot of mass shooting occurred in US many years ago. And as you can see that this movement was started by by high schoolers who survived after a mass shooting, and they all are young, and he is one of those survivors. And as you can see here, there are a lot of young people, they support for this movement. And as you can see, this is the slogan, if guns don't die, children do. So it's very threatened for the safety of children. And as a result, after many hundreds of mass shooting and the strike of March for Our Life gun and control policies, the US government, they prohibit people with mental issues and with domestic violence using gun and weapon. And then they care more about the background checks, and they limit the age of people who can use weapon. And the next one, Me Too movement and international sexual harassment laws. It's not just about the law, it's not just about sexual harassment, it's also about the gender equality. And this movement was, and this one is a social movement and awareness campaign against the imbalance between the sexual and gender. And as you can see that Me Too, it's like fight like a girl, and it's very important problem because 1/2 of a million, 1/2 population of the world, they are women. And this phrase, Me Too, was first used on social media in 2006 by a sexual abuse adult and the activist Facebook. And following on problem in the Hollywood industrial film, that the film producer Harvey Weinstein in 2017, he had illegal action that do harm to another actress. And as you can see here, as a result, this movement, they influence international labor organization to adopt violence and harassment convention in 2019. It strengthened sexual harassment and assault law in multiple countries, for example, Hong Kong or Japan or China. And moreover, it led to stricter workplace policies and gender-based violence prevention strategies and globally. Next one. According to statistics, in 2021, about 41% of population worldwide is under the age of 24, and 12th of August is International Youth Day by United Nations. Therefore, we are the young, we have strong voice, and together we will make our world better. And my slogan today is, empower the youth, ignite the future. And I will spend most of my time for the debating section. And thank you for your listening.
Thank you. I have a question for you. In your opinion, the youth lead movement effect on policies in long-term change or just in short-term change?
Yes, I see what you mean. And my answer is, I think that, for example, if one strike they happen, there's nothing no one in the world can change the policies, can change the policy right away and immediately. But in the long term, up to many strikes they happen, and they can protect the idea. And we have to consider why that strike or that movement are led, right? And I believe that in the long term goal, it has a strong and positive impact on policies changes, and it will make our world better. This is my answer.
Okay, so through your presentation, I have two questions.
A bit louder, please.
Through your presentation, I have a question. Do you think protests made by the youths are really affecting the policy changes of policymakers, or is it just about the numbers of protests and actual angrier people doing the changes? Or simpler is about the quality or about the quantity?
I think that it's just all the two aspects, quality and quantity. First, we have to mention why that strike and that process are led, right? And then I think that if one person he can wrong, but a crowd and all over the world they can't be wrong because it is the global issues, okay? And I believe that the reason why that kind of movement are led because it does harm, and it affects all of the young who they are the future of the world, and they are the vulnerable groups in the society. Yes.
Well, as you know, maybe you know, but in China, it's a very oppressive country. People don't allowed to use Wi-Fi, and every protest that the students or the citizens that made have been met with violent suppressions. In such an environment, how do you think the people can go about and use their voice to fight for what they think is right?
Well, yes, it's such a very hard question, but in China, maybe you can I don't know you know or not, but China, it is like a very developed country, and the problem about human rights and the problem about the rights, the equality of every member is very good. I think it's good, but sometimes we maybe because of the how can I say, because maybe the tourism, we can travel to another country, we can travel to another country to raise our voice and to share. And I think that it's not just about internet. We can write email, right? We write email, or we can write letter to the United Nations or WHO to raise the voice. So I think internet is maybe due to the lack of internet, so there are a lot of problems in China. We cannot be happened, but if it's very important, and if it's really important, there are a lot of ways for us to make that problem into light, and everyone can know this.
A second question for you. Although I agree that strikes and protests is an effective way to get what the citizens want, but sometimes it does get out of hand. For examples, when there have been attacks on artists and people that create using their imagination to create, and there have been attacks on their products for what has been considered a perceived oppression. Their own derived meaning from such the products that these artists are making, and they could not just only using protests, but also using through social media comments. They can blackmails. There's many methods right now to diminish someone's reputation and put them in the red, not allow them to ever show their face in public. How do you go about solving this problem?
Well, because it just speaks too fast. And I think that if one problem and something that is not good, I mean strikes and protests, they are not actually good because it's also affect to the industry, right? The industry and the economy. But I do believe that if, as I said before, one person they can wrong, but together, global, they can't be wrong, and it's happened a long time and a massive scale. So maybe firstly we have to mention the reason why it's happened, and then I mean that your problem is that something not good, right? Something not good. Hết 3 phút rồi gì?
Yeah. Your 5 minutes for the debate has ended. Thank you very much. Thank you and congratulations for your performance. Xin được chúc mừng thí sinh Trần Thị Ước đã hoàn thành phần dự thi của mình. Last but not least, let's welcome on stage another student from FPT Schools, Phạm Bảo Long AV, with the topic is technology bridging gaps between cultures or creating new divides. Thí sinh cuối cùng của chúng ta trong bảng 2 sẽ là Phạm Bảo Long AV đến từ trường Trung học cơ sở và Trung học phổ thông FPT Hải Phòng. Và đề tài của bạn là liệu công nghệ có lấp đầy khoảng trống giữa các nền văn hóa hay sẽ tạo ra những chia cắt mới. 5 minutes for you.
Well, as you may have seen in my intro video, today I'm going to talk to you about the role of technology in global connectivity, as well as discussing whether technology has the potential to bridge the gaps between cultures or potentially create new divides. Now, in the first chapter, in 1964, a man by the name of Marshall Malcolm has the foresight to see the advent of technologies. He then coined the terms global village. Village here means generic and narrow-minded in terms of cultures. A paradox in which the whole globe can become like one village, affected by the harmonization of technology. Of course, we can see this effect now in the present days, where, for example, the Western cultures has taken a dominant stance as the popular culture, undermining all the local and smaller cultures. This has in turn led to the loss of identity, where many people are out of touch with their own traditions, values, and even languages. Oh, no, not yet. Now, so is technology all bad? Can it only create more rifts in an already broken world? Well, that is certainly the perspective of many people. But I have to argue against that, because there is many effects, opposing effects, with the interaction between technologies and cultures. For examples, languages, traditions, and oral histories can be retained through online communities as well as digital archives. Today, technology has allowed people to be able to stay connected to their roots, even though far from home. This has certainly been correct to me, at least. When I was 10 years old, I moved to Canada to live there for 5 years, then eventually returning here to Hải Phòng. But during that 5 years, through the help of apps such as FaceTime and Viber, I was able to retain my connections with my family in Vietnam here. And even though living for such a long time in a foreign environment, I never got disconnected from my roots. And this is certainly also true for my peers in Canada, where most of them have their ethnicity outside of Canada. And the only way for them to find out more about their individualities, their cultures, and their legacies is through the help of technologies. Now, technology doesn't have to only preserve cultures. Technology can actually enhance and evolve cultures, such as in the case of Ford, famous car production companies, and this guy, I forgot his name, but he made the television inventions. These two inventions have become so integrated into the roots and heart of the American's mind. Today, people can share all their opinions, their individualities, their arts, their voice globally through apps such as TikTok, Tinder, or Lingua Mobile. This in turn leads to, in my opinion, a better world. A world where homogenized groups of people can stand up and fight, speak for what they think is right, deface stereotypes, as well as educate others. So, yes, technology has many downsides, of course, just like everything else. But the matter of fact is, culture has changed drastically over the prolonged durations of histories. And the very concept of culture that we have today is shaped through numerous historic events that allow it to be possible in the first place. So today, now more than ever, we are seeing a rate of change rapidly with the ever increasingly exposure to new cultures and other line of thought. So the question now is, do we accept this change? Because it's coming no matter what. So do we fight this change? Or do we embrace it and allow it to educate ourselves and broaden our horizon? Thank you for listening.
Questions. Hi. It's about technology and culture, okay? So, do you think in this modern era, a lot of new cultures are being born and being integrated in parts into our life? So, do you think in the future, these kind of culture or traditions or like pop culture, memes or some things like that will be remembered or being valued in the future?
Yes, of course. Well, just like everything else in history we have seen, we still value the Romans, even though they have collapsed hundreds of thousands of years ago. We still value their cultures, their stories, the zoos and stuff like that. But still, just like everything else in life, I think sometimes in life you have to discard old things to make way for new and better things.
My question is with develop of technology nowadays, how can this affect your worker, bad or good?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
With develop of technology nowadays, is how can it affect to workers?
Affect workers?
Yes.
Well, of course, just like her point and his point, first off, technology help us reduce the amount of repetitive tasks that one has to do, as seen obviously now with AIs and other kind of machines. Machines also help us bring our ideas to the world, fight for our rights, and spread an idea that we have to the world. Then, personally, I think an aspect that I really like about technology is that it allows people to work together across the globe, no matter the distance. We can always work together, no matter the time or day, as long as you want to. It is possible.
Okay, I want to ask about an expansion of this concept. So, cultural harmonization will create something called an echo chamber, which inside people will have a lot of opinion, view, and standpoint without any opposition. So, what do you think of this?
Actually, I disagree with your point. Because as technology develops, everyone has a say, everyone has a voice, everyone has their opinion, and they can present it to the world. That is the opposite side, that is the opposite counter to your point. Because technology, I think in turn, will help this world become a better place where everyone's voice is heard, even the voice that were once considered the minorities.
So, through your explanation, I'll say that, this echo chamber is not only a good thing, it's not only a bad thing, it helps people to actually be heard in a community, help people to be more assimilated into some kind of a voice, helping them to foster creativity and promotion. So, do you think, will their ego be boosted significantly, or will it definitely be superseded by the fact that they will be fostered by creations and creativity as such? I mean, it's about the advantages do outweigh the disadvantages.
Of course, I think this depends on the person itself. You can see many of such individuals right now, even today, where they think their ideas are completely correct. They think nothing is above them, and they present that to the world. But I think with technology, you can't hide anything from anybody anymore. Any ideas you have, if you are better than someone, then you can show it. If you have a better idea, then you can say it. And to your point, the echo chamber can be a good thing. I agree. With technology, since the idea can spread everybody, it will gradually and inevitably lead to other groups and better, leads you to other people who share the same mindset and have the same ideas as you do. Hoài ơi, có phải gamma không?
Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation. Xin được chúc mừng thí sinh Phạm Bảo Long AV đã hoàn thành phần dự thi của mình, và đó cũng là phần dự thi của 5 thí sinh ở bảng 2.
Vâng, và thưa quý vị, các bạn có muốn nghỉ giải lao một chút không? Không cần luôn. Vâng ạ, và thưa quý vị, vâng ạ, tiếp theo sẽ là một phần thi cũng khá là kịch tính. Các thí sinh của bảng 2 sẽ xem ai nhanh tay nhanh mắt hơn trong phần thi bấm chuông cùng trả lời câu hỏi sau đây. Phần thi này sẽ gồm có 10 câu hỏi. Ngay sau khi nghe một thành viên trong ban giám khảo đọc câu hỏi xong và tín hiệu 15 giây bắt đầu, cũng giống như ở bảng 1, thí sinh nhanh chóng bấm chuông để giành quyền trả lời trong thời gian tối đa là 15 giây. Bạn bấm chuông trả lời trước, mỗi câu hỏi trả lời đúng và nhanh nhất sẽ được 1 điểm. Trường hợp thí sinh trả lời đầu tiên sai thì sẽ nhường một cơ hội duy nhất cho 4 bạn còn lại để trả lời để giành 1 điểm. Vâng ạ.
So the rule will be similar to category 1. So each of you will have the chance to get 1 score for 1 correct answer. And if the first answer is not correct, so there will only be a second chance for the rest of the 4 people. Are you ready for that? Okay. So we would like to invite one of the church to welcome on stage and join us for this contest. Thank you. Xin mời ban tổ chức sẽ giúp chúng tôi có một câu hỏi, phong bì câu hỏi cho nhóm số 2.
Okay, are you ready? Take it easy, breathe, okay? Do it fast, but think the answer, okay? So, number 1. Which of the following is a potential negative consequence of globalization? A. Increased access to global markets and technologies for developed countries. B. Greater cultural exchange and understanding between different societies. C. The erosion of local cultures and traditions. D. The strengthening of national economies and self-sufficiency.
15 giây.
Bắt đầu. Từ từ nha. Mọi người phải nhớ là 15 giây bắt đầu thì mới được bấm nha. Nào, 15 giây. Bình tĩnh nha em. Nghe anh nha. 15 giây bắt đầu.
I choose C. I choose C. C?
Yes, it's correct. Letter C.
Chúc mừng em.
Okay, number 2. The growth in global communication has A. Been limited to international telephone calls. B. Meant people know really on different sources for the news. C. Decreased the need for the internet. D. Brought information to more people from the same sources.
15 giây. Bắt đầu.
I choose D. Are you sure? Yes, the answer is D. Good job.
Oh, yes.
Okay, number 3. Which of the following is a key factor that can lead to cultural change? A. The absence of external influences. B. The complete isolation of a culture from other cultures. C. The presence of a stable and unchanging environment. D. Interactions between cultures, technological advancements, and shifts in social structures.
15 giây bắt đầu. Anh phải không để các bạn nhìn thấy anh, để khi anh nói thì các bạn sẽ bấm, đúng không?
I choose D.
Yes, correct.
Chúc mừng bạn.
Okay, number 4. How did the rise of global media and technology contribute to cultural exchange? A. It primarily led to the homogenization of global culture with Western values and media dominating the world. B. It facilitated the spread of information and ideas, allowing for greater cultural understanding and interaction, but also potentially leading to cultural appropriation and misunderstandings. C. It primarily led to a decline in cultural exchange as people became more isolated and reliant on technology. D. It had no significant impact on cultural exchange as people continued to interact in the same ways as before.
15 giây. 15 giây bắt đầu.
I think it's a B. A B.
Yes, correct. B. Thank you. Okay, number 5. How did the Silk Road contribute to cultural exchange? A. It primarily facilitated the exchange of goods, but had little impact on cultural exchange. B. It facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultural practices, leading to significant cultural diffusion across Eurasia. C. It led to isolation of different cultures as people were unable to travel long distances. D. It primarily led to conflict between different cultures.
15 giây bắt đầu. Lại nha. Thôi mình bỏ 15 giây thì mình nói bắt đầu luôn nha. Dễ bấm hơn ha. Bắt đầu.
I think it's B.
Yes, correct. Okay, number 6. Which of the following is a key characteristic of a transnational actor in international relations? A state government negotiating a trade agreement. B, a non-state actor that operates across national borders, such as a multinational corporation or an NGO. C, a military alliance between two or more countries. D, an international organization like the United Nations.
Bắt đầu.
I think it's A.
No.
Is it B?
Yes, correct. Okay, number 7. Which of the following is a primary example of triangulation in international trade? A country directly exporting goods to another country. B, a country importing goods for a third country to avoid tariffs with a different country. C, a country imposing tariffs on goods from another country. D, a country joining a free trade agreement with another country.
Bắt đầu.
I choose D.
D?
D.
No.
Oh.
Incorrect.
I choose B.
Yes, correct. And number 8. Which of the following is a key challenge facing the global tourism industry in the 21st century? A decline in the number of international travelers. B, the increasing demand for luxury travel experiences. C, the growing impact of climate change on tourism destinations. Or D, the decreasing importance of cultural tourism.
Bắt đầu.
I think it's a C.
Yes, correct. Really good. Okay, number 9. How can educators promote global citizenship in the classroom? A, by focusing solely on local issues. B, by encouraging students to engage with global issues, diverse perspectives, and cultures. C, by ignoring international cooperation. And D, by promoting a narrow and not nationalistic worldview.
Bắt đầu. Rất nhanh tay.
I choose B.
Yes, correct. Okay, the last one, okay? So, which of the following is not a potential benefit of global work for business? A, access to a wider talent pool or skilled labor. B, reduce operational costs through outsourcing and offshoring. C, increase innovation and knowledge sharing across different regions. Or D, a decrease in the need of global coordination and communication. Ooh, wait for it.
Bắt đầu. Lại nha, sorry, tại vì chuông này chỉ có bấm một cái. Nào.
Wait.
Bắt đầu. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot
You
the question.
remember
But I
the
think maybe it's D. I don't really remember.
It's
D, right?
Okay. So, which of the following is not a potential benefit of global
D.
work?
Sorry. D,
Yeah.
right?
D?
Yes.
Yes, correct. Good, you did it very well. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And also congratulations to all of you for completing your performance.
Vâng, và một lần nữa chúng ta hãy cùng dành một tràng pháo tay để chúc mừng cho các thí sinh ở bảng 2. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều.
Okay, so it's time for you to take a break and then we will get back.
Là kết quả cuộc thi năm 2025 của chúng ta. Và ngay sau đây, chúng ta sẽ cùng mời tất cả các thí sinh quay trở lại sân khấu, phải không ạ? Một tràng pháo tay thật lớn để cùng chào đón các thí sinh của chúng ta. Xin mời các bạn.
And here comes the rewarding ceremony. And let's welcome on stage all of our candidates today. The thing that I meant that I have like the new feeling comparing to the other years is this year, everybody seems to be a little bit more slay comparing to the other years. Yeah, more confident. And you all look great. You did great.
Vâng, và có lẽ là các bạn cũng đã biết rồi, nhưng mà chúng tôi cũng xin được cơ cấu lại cái giải thưởng ngày hôm nay của tất cả chúng ta. Chúng ta sẽ có một giải, giải khuyến khích, đó chính là mỗi giải sẽ trị giá là 1 triệu đồng tiền mặt cùng với quà và học bổng đến từ các trung tâm Anh ngữ. Và thí sinh nào, những thí sinh nào sẽ là những thí sinh nhận được giải khuyến khích của chúng ta đây?
So let's move on to the consolation prize. And for each consolation prize, you will get 1 million Vietnam dong in cash, together with gifts and scholarships from English centers.
Rất hồi hộp ạ. Vâng, bảng 1. Anh muốn công bố bảng 2 được không? Bảng 1 của chúng ta với số điểm, tổng điểm là 86. Ở phần thi đầu tiên, bạn ấy nhận được số điểm từ ban giám khảo là 83 điểm. Và phần thi thứ hai, phần thi trả lời câu hỏi, bạn ấy nhận được 3 điểm. Chúng tôi xin được chúc mừng thí sinh đầu tiên nhận được giải khuyến khích trong cuộc thi năm nay. Đó chính là thí sinh Đậu Nguyễn Diệp Chi. Xin được chúc mừng.
Congratulations to Đậu Nguyễn Diệp Chi with a total of 86.
Tiếp theo, với tổng số điểm là 85,5. Ở phần thi đầu tiên, bạn nhận được 83,5 điểm. Phần thi thứ hai, bạn nhận được 2 điểm. Chúng tôi xin được chúc mừng thí sinh Bùi Phạm Anh Đức. Vâng ạ.
Congratulations Bùi Phạm Anh Đức with the total scores of 85.5.
Và bây giờ sẽ đến bảng thứ hai. Với số điểm đầu tiên trong phần thi đầu tiên là 63,5 và phần thi thứ hai 1 điểm. Tổng số điểm là 64,5 điểm. Chúng tôi xin được chúc mừng và mời tiến lên phía trước thí sinh Nguyễn Thị Ngọc Hà.
At the second category, congratulations to Nguyễn Thị Ngọc Hà with the total scores of 64.5.
Với tổng số điểm là 73,5. Phần thi thứ nhất 71,5 điểm. Phần thi thứ hai được 2 điểm. Chúng tôi xin được mời tiến lên phía trước một bước thí sinh Phạm Bảo Long. Xin được chúc mừng.
Congratulations to Phạm Bảo Long with the total score of 73.5. So those are the 4 consolation prizes today.
Vâng ạ, và xin mời các bạn hãy cùng đứng sát lại với nhau đi ạ, những thí sinh nhận được giải khuyến khích. Và ngay sau đây chúng tôi xin được trân trọng giới thiệu và kính mời lên sân khấu bà Hoàng Thị Thu Hường, Phó Chánh Văn phòng Liên hiệp các tổ chức hữu nghị thành phố sẽ cùng trao giải thưởng này. Xin được trân trọng kính mời.
We would like to invite Ms. Hoàng Thị Thu Hường, the Deputy Head of Office of Hải Phòng Union of Friendship Association, to deliver the prize. We also like to invite the representatives of all the English centers to deliver the gifts and scholarships to our consolation prizes.
Vâng ạ, và chúng tôi cũng xin được mời đại diện của các trung tâm Anh ngữ sẽ cùng lên sân khấu để trao những cái học bổng của đơn vị mình cho các thí sinh nhận được giải khuyến khích trong cuộc thi Vòng chung khảo cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh lần thứ 11 với chủ đề kết nối quốc tế ngày hôm nay. Và tất nhiên rồi có cả những món quà nữa thưa quý vị. Vâng, và một lần nữa chúng ta hãy cùng dành những tràng pháo tay thật lớn để cùng chúc mừng cho các thí sinh nhận được giải khuyến khích trong vòng chung khảo cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh lần thứ 11.
Once again, congratulations to all the consolation prizes for today.
Xin được cảm ơn các bạn và mời các bạn sẽ cùng lùi lại vị trí của mình để chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với phần công bố kết quả tiếp theo. Tiếp theo chúng ta sẽ cùng đến với giải Á quân 2. Vâng ạ, giải Á quân 2 của chúng ta sẽ có giải thưởng như sau. Chúng ta sẽ có 2 triệu đồng tiền mặt, sẽ có quà và học bổng đến từ các đơn vị tài trợ của các trung tâm Anh ngữ.
And here comes the second runner-up. You will receive 2 million Vietnam đồng in cash together with gifts and scholarships from all the centers and sponsors today.
Và mình làm khác đi một chút, mình sẽ trao giải từ bảng số 2 trước nha. Vâng ạ, giải Á quân 2 của chúng ta ở bảng số 2 với số điểm tổng là 74,5 điểm. Ở phần thi đầu tiên bạn nhận được 73,5 điểm từ ban giám khảo. Ở phần thi thứ hai bạn nhận được 1 điểm qua câu trả lời. Và chúng tôi xin được chúc mừng Á quân 2 của chúng ta. Đó chính là thí sinh Trần Thị Ước. Vâng ạ, xin được chúc mừng bạn.
Congratulations, the second runner-up of category 2, Trần Thị Ước.
Ở bảng 1, thí sinh nhận được giải Á quân 2 có tổng số điểm là 93,5 điểm. Ở phần thi đầu tiên, bạn được 93,5 điểm và không có điểm ở phần thi thứ hai. Chúng tôi xin được chúc mừng Á quân 2 của chúng ta. Đó chính là Đinh Nguyễn Việt Hân.
Congratulations to Đinh Nguyễn Việt Hân.
Và ngay sau đây chúng tôi xin được trân trọng giới thiệu và kính mời lên sân khấu bà Nguyễn Thị Thủy, Phó Bí thư Thành đoàn sẽ cùng lên sân khấu để trao giải thưởng này ạ. Chúng tôi cũng xin được trân trọng kính mời các đơn vị tài trợ là những trung tâm Anh ngữ sẽ cử đại diện để lên sân khấu trao tặng những món quà, trao tặng những học bổng cho các thí sinh của chúng ta nhận được giải Á quân 2.
We would like to invite on stage Ms. Nguyễn Thị Thủy, the Vice Secretary of Hải Phòng Youth Union, together with the representatives of our sponsors to deliver the gifts and scholarships.
Vâng ạ, những tràng vào tay chúng ta hãy dành lớn hơn được không ạ?
Once again, congratulations to our 2 second runner-ups of each category. Thank you.
Và bây giờ sẽ là những thí sinh nhận được giải Á quân 1. Bây giờ như sau ạ? Chúng tôi muốn mời tất cả các thí sinh nào chúng ta chưa có giải, chúng ta hãy bước lên phía trước. Vâng ạ, xin mời mọi người hãy cùng đứng sát lại với nhau hơn một chút nào. Vâng, và giải Á quân 1 của chúng ta cũng là một giải thưởng có giá trị cũng tương đương với Á quân 2. Chúng ta sẽ có 2 triệu đồng tiền mặt, sẽ có quà, học bổng đến từ các nhà tài trợ.
So for the first runner-up, you will receive 2 million in cash, together with gifts and scholarships from our sponsors.
Vâng, và chúng tôi xin mời các thí sinh có tên sau sẽ cùng bước lên phía trước.
Theo các bạn thì ai sẽ là Á quân 1 và ai sẽ là nhà vô địch đấy ạ?
Chúng tôi xin mời thí sinh Vũ Quốc Cường sẽ tiến lên phía trước một bước. Chúng tôi xin mời thí sinh Nguyễn Hồng Đức. Xin lỗi các bạn, nhưng các bạn hãy lùi lại phía sau 2 bước đi ạ. Không, 2 cái người tôi vừa gọi tên hãy lùi lại phía sau 2 bước. Và 2 người mà chúng tôi chưa gọi tên chính là những người đã nhận được giải Á quân 1 của chúng ta. Vâng, và thưa quý vị, ngay sau đây chúng tôi xin được trân trọng kính mời bà Nguyễn Thị Thanh Hương, Phó Giám đốc Sở Ngoại vụ Hải Phòng sẽ cùng lên sân khấu để trao giải thưởng cho 2 Á quân 1 của chúng ta.
We would like to welcome on stage Ms. Nguyễn Thị Thanh Hương, the Vice Director of Hải Phòng Department of Foreign Affairs, together with the representatives of all the sponsors to deliver the prizes for our first runner-up.
Vâng ạ, thí sinh Quách Đức Mạnh của chúng ta có tổng số điểm là 79 điểm. Còn thí sinh Lương Minh Huyền có tổng số điểm là 95,5 điểm. Có thể nói rằng 2 thí sinh của chúng ta đã rất cố gắng để đạt được những thành tích vô cùng đặc biệt trong ngày hôm nay. Và một lần nữa, hãy dành những tràng pháo tay thật lớn để cùng chúc mừng cho những Á quân 1 của chúng ta.
Congratulations to our first runner-up today.
Và thưa quý vị thân mến, ngay bây giờ sẽ là phần vinh danh được chờ đón nhất ngày hôm nay. Đó chính là những thí sinh nhận được giải vô địch của chúng ta. Xin được chúc mừng thí sinh đầu tiên nhận được giải vô địch. Đó chính là thí sinh Nguyễn Hồng Đức. Xin được chúc mừng.
Và thí sinh thứ 2 ở bảng 1, nhà vô địch của chúng ta, xin được chúc mừng thí sinh Vũ Quốc Cường. Cả 2 bạn đều đến từ Trung học phổ thông chuyên Trần Phú.
Vâng, và ngay sau đây chúng tôi xin trân trọng giới thiệu và kính mời lên sân khấu ông Nguyễn Văn Thụ, Chủ tịch Liên hiệp các tổ chức hữu nghị thành phố sẽ cùng lên sân khấu để trao giải thưởng. Đó chính là 3 triệu đồng tiền mặt cùng với quà và học bổng đến từ các đơn vị tài trợ là các trung tâm Anh ngữ. Xin được trân trọng kính mời.
We would like to invite to stage Mr. Nguyễn Văn Thụ, Chairman of Hải Phòng Union of Friendship Associations, and all the representatives of the sponsors to deliver the prize for our champions. You will receive 3 million Vietnam đồng in cash, together with gifts and scholarships from our sponsors. Once again, congratulations.
Vâng, có thể nói rằng những sự cố gắng, sự tự tin và cống hiến hết mình của các bạn qua những phần thi của ngày hôm nay đã mang lại cho các bạn những cái danh hiệu vô cùng đặc biệt và đáng tự hào. Và một lần nữa chúng ta hãy cùng dành những tràng pháo tay thật lớn để cùng chúc mừng cho những thí sinh đã đạt được giải vô địch của mùa năm nay.
Once again, congratulations to our champions of Hải Phòng English Contest 2025.
Vâng ạ, và xin mời các bạn hãy cùng nhau chụp một bức hình lưu niệm. Xin mời quý vị đại biểu của chúng ta hãy cùng lên sân khấu để chụp ảnh với các bạn thí sinh của chúng ta. Vâng ạ, một mùa thi năm nay có thể nói rằng các thí sinh của chúng ta rất là đồng đều, rất cố gắng và rất giỏi thưa quý vị. Quý vị thân mến, như vậy là cuộc thi vô địch tiếng Anh lần thứ 11 Hải Phòng năm 2025 đã kết thúc với giải nhất thuộc về những thí sinh của chúng ta. Và xin mời các thành viên trong ban giám khảo cũng mời lên sân khấu để cùng chụp ảnh cùng
We would like to invite our churches to join us for the group photo. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the 11th English Speaking Contest of Hải Phòng City 20...
Các sở, ban ngành, đơn vị trong thành phố, các nhà tài trợ, ban giám khảo, các cơ quan thông tấn, báo chí và quý vị khán giả đã đến tham dự và cổ vũ cho cuộc thi ngày hôm nay. Kính chúc tất cả quý vị sẽ có thật nhiều sức khỏe, hạnh phúc và xin được kính chào tạm biệt và hẹn gặp lại.